bikes so that we don't have any accidents.
站好，可以站后啊。先这样吧。
Nightcliff, give us a friggin' feel so we can start the game. They're fucking wonderful. Give them a blow up. Oh, they're friends, they're just waddling off the ground over there on the other end there. Trying to start the game like that, so they're on the open. They own the place. Yeah. Yeah, I did summit. I didn't make it better, did I? No. I mean, this is better, but... And it's Nightcliff.
Really good, really good. Stop it. Paddy, you can go behind the goals and make sure the ball doesn't go to the back. Like do the forwards. Yeah, just keep the ball in, yeah.
Just keep your code up, not stick it out in your hand.
Yeah, that'd be handy, especially when you're on the
Tell him, Travis. Just getting around it.
got no flavour.
Move to him, Sammy. You're right, now.
你把按到了吧？
没关，没按到。
可以。哦，歪了是吗？算了，再说。我去看这边有什么好吃啊？你先研究啊。 法来这里的，可以去买那个。你还记得这边 Nightcliff 旁边那个炸鸡吗？那会不会太奢侈？On the mark!
Let that ride is fine.
Let's just give it. Let me give it 5 minutes. See how Jagger holds it.
你姐夫那个店有几个股东？好几个吧，2、3个这样。你有去蛙冷吃过吗？
吃过1、2次啊，我觉得一般。
你吃的什么？
哇，
他家的炒饭很香的。
除了炒饭一无是处。
还有炒面啊，都没别的了呀。
He's up there. He's there.
He's there. 南鸡饭咯。我干你娘！看贾玲。
看到了呀，
我操，这他妈的！
所以我说有时候一个人的颜值跟体重没有什么关系。
不是，太显老，瘦下来反倒没有蛋白质。
他瘦下来就是个路人，胖起来还有点辨识度。
就是还知道长什么样。对啊，你就像蔡徐坤长得蔡徐坤那样，然后像那个那个叫什么郭德纲那样讲相声，你也看不下去啊，是不是这个意思？还是你要看人设嘛。Dan! Swap wings with Jimmy when you can!
Jagger! Go for a rest! Jordy, rock for 5 and swap with Mason. Come on!
Get up!
No, Paddy's the first goal. Well, where the fuck's Paddy then? Paddy's forward.
I should have a couple of spares there anyway.
Well, we're sitting at elsewhere. Surely you're going to drop it.
I should have a couple there.
Wait, 3 goals. You got this. Jagger, you good? I need something from you, brother. You're going to be able to run out these games. This is the fucking game. Good, brother. We need someone behind the goal to get the footy. We got any well, Paddy's down there, but he's actually taking water out before he gets the ball back.
Yeah, I know, but you need to do it the other way around.
I know. So maybe if you're one of down the time. swap with him and you can do that. Okay. They're not trying to smash the board, mate, so what are you doing?
这比赛多久啊
？1个半小时吧。不多少天。
Go behind the ball. Come for Ethan. Straight away, get on the field. Bring Ethan now so you can get on. Right over. Sit behind the ball. Sit behind the ball, Jagger. Right? No, you're going on him. You're playing in the back line. When Tommy gets close, bring him. So if you're not at the gate, you won't be able to bring him. When Tommy's close, bring him. Ready to get dangerous!
Oh, here it is.
Get the ball! Get the footy!
Go again, Coach.
后来连哪儿那个是，完就连那个拔了。啊，没有啊，他连在天之路里面。天之路里面找到了。
天上，
上面。
最上面，最上面有个风扇，插风扇那个牌子。
Yeah, Jimmy's it. Well, that's good like that, Trevor. They're trying in the bathroom together again.
是打就到10点，4点半像半2小时没6点半。剩下钱就白送了。
我们不可能。
就是反正就每周6就是送10次。
然后年终又要转part time，啥意思啊？就时间更固定了，是这个意思是吧？
政府要求。
哦，政府要求K9如果时数太多，怎么变part time是吧？
他说的政府要求，我也。
哎，那个 Live View 的那插头好像有点松，你给它插进去。下雨怎么办？下雨把这个拉进来，那也降不了呀。
下雨赶紧把帐篷往前推。
你确定只一场比赛吗？
对啊。
那我们搞完再去吃饭吧。
这不是重点，重点是4点28了，这场比赛到现在还没有结束的价值。
那谁在加时赛？哦，还有1分钟，是吧？这倒计时的。你先拍还是我拍？
你先拍吧。
1人1场嘛，一共4场。
我拍上半场，你拍下半场。
我操，那我很无聊啊！我操，我要站到他妈的1、2节结束，然后再最后1节。
都这样。我跟你讲，换一换很累的。
我突然有个想法，能不能把那个车倒过来，开着空调把门开着，然后他妈的拍啊？道理是这么一个道理。 NBA 打球的，我操，这不得天天干吗？说二福生怎么在那边打球？你说在场上看着其实还好，但你说他妈真的这么看，也太矮了吧？
建议你不要跟我讲话，因为他收身了。
你还有扣吗？
看看。
点要有。帮你把这个买点。
开吗？Zoom in, zoom out. Makes sense. Okay. Bye. 没有，就是拍的时候保持一个 medium shot， 不要太近。
是 single camera 的那种配置吗？可大可小，但不要太近，也不要太远。我有经验。那解说只能按你的拍上。
回去你开啊？
啊？你要我先吗？
有啊。
哦，回去我开。还没开上呢。
Hey boys, is there any commentary?
Oh yeah.
Where are they?
Yeah.
In our office.
City office. Yeah.
Oh, they're doing
The committee is not here.
Can they hear? So have you got a mic on? They can hear us.
Camera.
A bit close.
Sorry?
You're a bit close to us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what everyone's been saying. Yeah, that's it. Brother, give us the first. There are only plastic stickers on his arm.
You won't hear it now. Off you go. You should hear yourselves.
Good afternoon and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, to round 17 action, broadcasting live from Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval here. Round 17, it's an absolute match-up here to what might be looking at the grand final preview here, but it's an absolute ripper top 5 in this competition here, and we can see if you're watching the Buffaloes and Waratah game, that one's an absolute nail-biter from TIO as well. Tara Harris here. It's a pleasure to host you this afternoon. Joining me in the commentary box, Stu Davis. How are you, Stu?
Good, thank you, Tara. Really excited about this game. First versus third on the ladder, even on games, and of course districts don't get to play next week. They have the bye, so crucial. They've got a few good ins that we'll go through as the game goes on, but yeah, ready to go here, and it should be an absolute ripper, as you said. It's Matty Dennis wins the first hit out down, and taking it one hand and then getting grabbed in the tackle was Rinaldi, and tempers are flaring already in the opening seconds. So umpire's doing the right thing, trying to get the game on the way. And quick kick smothered, and now a hack out of the pack from Brown. Kick just falls short, and George back there couldn't trap the ball. It spins out wide, and now Darms gets on that one. Hand passes over the top. Here's a chance for Nightcliff. First score of the game. Is swinging back, but not swinging back far enough, and through for a behind only.
So explosive start as we expected here in the first quarter. Just the single behind there, putting Nightcliff first to strike here this afternoon. Be interesting to see what happens here. Southern District's working hard to get that one out and into some space through the arms of Barry. Bit of a contest there. It'll be Stanley Waistcoat racing that one to the boundary to see if he can pick it up. He's managed to just get that one up and looking to get into some space, which he has. Looking through his captain there in Staunton. Beautiful take there and good vision there to find Slee. Slee pushes that one forward. It's a contest high. You can see Maddie Dennis flew there. Again, ball just on the ground there, trying to get that one into some space. Nightcliff working overtime. Ball just no clear pick up there. Staunton's managed to get his hands to it and do something with it, but just trickled over the boundary line.
So, of course, viewers will notice that a couple of the players, or one player from each side, wearing the number 0 Tara, and of course it's a big round of matches with an important message.
Yeah, definitely. So Towards Zero round here, a fantastic partnership between Northern Territory Football League and the Towards Zero campaign, setting the importance of road safety across the territory. So you'll see there also all the players are in yellow armbands as well, and it's a significant round with an important message. There's not many people around the territory that haven't been affected by road trauma in some way. So it's great to see our players standing up and being a part of this special round. And
the umpires, of course, is one of the umpires wearing the 0 on the back as well, as Dennis wins that hit out. It's picked up by Cockatoo. He just advances around the boundary line, trying to get it to the advantage of Jonathan Ross. It bounced in front of him and he was dragged over the boundary line with it. So another boundary throw in right in front of the pavilion there, full of Nightcliff supporters. I'm sure they're encouraging the visitors as well.
Yes, they are. You see tempers kind of flaring there early on. They both sides know how important this game is, and it's pretty snappy, forgive the crocodile pun, between these two sides here. But there's been a free found here, and it'll give an opportunity for the Crocs to get on the board.
Yeah, it's Big Wyatt Ryan, and the contest in the ruck is going to be fascinating today. Big Wyatt Ryan and of course Maddie Dennis up against Liam Buxton for Nightcliff. So the kick is offline and we think it's a behind. Yes. It is, and they're playing on quickly to the outer side, and Nathan Brown in the action early, drills it around the outer side, and the mark taken by Politis on the outer side of the ground. In short, back to Brown. No, it was, yeah, anyway, Brown kicks long around the outer side of the ground, just too far out in front of Buxton. You can see that from that bit of a scuffle at the start of the game, Liam Buxton's got his jumper ripped already. Yes, so we'll update you if that Guernsey changes. We see a lot of tension here. Ball will go up, and it looks like there'll be a ball up again. Good contest here between Buxton, as you said, and Matthew Dennis. Ball goes high, no clear hands to it off the deck. You see Cooper Darms working overtime to get involved and get that ball into some space, but just been wrapped up there, and we'll have another umpire's ball up. So Nightcliff on top of the table and looking to keep winning to maintain that place as the hit out comes over the top close to the boundary line, just hacked out of the air, but I think it was already over the boundary line, so it'll be a boundary throw in. So interesting to see what happens here this afternoon from Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval. Star players across both sides and standout players across both sides, so be interesting to see who can work in these conditions. 35 degrees Darwin today, high humidity as always, so it'll be see who can play the full 4 quarters today. Maddie Dennis over the top picks that one high, managed to try to get it in space, but it finds Staunton. Staunton with hand pass over the top. They've boosted that one into their forward line, but boundary line has found that one there, so that'll be turned over. And an opportunity for Nightcliff to hopefully get this ball into some space off the boot of Nathan Brown. Brown opts for the opposite wing again, driving that ball down and deep. It goes high again, no mark out of that one. District's just turning that one over again. Beautiful kick back into the forward line there, looking for options, but has found the boundary. So you can see maybe a bit of pressure here, and it's a bit of a rocky start for both sides. Yeah, and both sides happy to keep it tight to the boundary on the outer side there, which is fantastic for us, Tara.
Yeah, it's great viewing. Come on, give the people a show. Get closer. Ball goes up high again. Matty Dennis on Buxton's apologies. That is Twycross on Buxton. Again, no clear control. Working overtime with a boot. Goes high. He's pushed that one to the forward. Again, just drifted through for another behind there for Nightcliff.
So no goal on the board so far. As,
you go there and put Kano back up.
District's a couple of behinds on the board as the kick goes around the outer side of the ground and the mark taken by Zust out there. Cody Zust now called to play on, hasn't got much short and just bombs it down the line, but it's chopped off down there by Barry. He hand passes forward to Staunton. Staunton inside forward 50, a beautiful pass, and the mark taken by Roy George, who's worked his way down inside the forward 50 and gets on the end of that one. And the mark taken. So Roy George will go back for the set shot with the attempt to get the first goal of the game on the board. Distance shouldn't be a problem. And comes in now and kicks. In fact, he's pushed it across the face of goal. Mark being claimed, but it was off for a couple of hands. I think Wyatt Ryan down there eventually gets it out and just trying to burst away out of the pack. For Nightcliff was Stanley Cox, but couldn't keep it in play, and it'll be a boundary throw in again.
So we'll see what can be mustered up here. Crocs just need a bit of a snap here, get one through and an opportunity for a reset. So ball goes up. Done well there by Wyatt Ryan. Just doing what they can to get it off the deck. Stanley waistcoat. A little bit of a snap there from Taj Stanley by the look of it, but they'll be out across the boundary, so we'll have another throw in. So reset here. Only metres away from the scoring end for Districts. Wyatt Ryan gets a hand to it over the top of Stanley Cox again, trying to get this one into some space. Socket off the deck there. Doing what they can to get a hand to it. It's picked up nicely there. A cheeky little kick over the top, trying to find a player in space, and he's found what looks to be Dylan Barry, and we know he's in range.
Yeah, Dylan Barry, left footer, of course, so that will help him with the angle. But, yeah, a relatively straightforward attempt from here, bit of an angle. But we know that he is a goal kicker, so swings out on that left, but it's going close. Has it come back? I think it has drifted back on the breeze and just snuck that one in, so judged it beautifully. A goal to Dylan Barry and the first goal of the game to Southern Districts. And they get their noses in front and yeah, we were saying that Nightcliff on top of the table by percentage only. Southern District's one of those sides equal on games. St Mary's the other one, of course, who play later tonight. So percentage is going to be all important. And for Southern Districts to finish top, of course, they would have to hope that that St Mary's lost a game somewhere along the line, which isn't all that likely, but it is a fascinating finish to the season. You mentioned the Darwin Waratah game, which has a real bearing on who makes the final five out of the 4th, 5th and 6th teams as they stand at the moment. So a terrific climax to the season as Dennis just thumps that ball forward, but Moody comes in off the wing and hacks the ball deep inside forward 50, but running back with the flight of the ball and taking a nice mark was Roy George for Southern Districts. Short pass finds Bo Schwartz. Schwartz runs through the middle of the ground. He's had a few touches already and kicks long down to full forward. Beautiful kick, beautiful mark, and it's Jed Anderson on the end of that one. Coming out of the goal square, obviously just having a spell from midfield duties, resting forward. Not so much resting these days. They're expected to work a fair bit, and he worked hard to get the front position or thought about giving off, but now thinks better of it. And Jed Anderson, of course, one of those front runners for the Nichols medal coming up in a few weeks' time.
Puts that one high. Just looks like it's drifted off to the right. So doesn't get the major Anderson, but just sneaks him in front just a little bit further here. So we can see how powerful in the last 8 minutes or so Southern Districts have been in this mid-space. Just complete control and read of the footy. It's like they're playing their own game of footy with their own ball today. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Nightcliff have struggled to get it into their forward line apart from the opening few minutes of the term. So Nighthouse with the big gig here. He opts for the commentary wing, which is our favourite. Looks like Ryan's gone high to get his hands to. It's beautiful, Mark. As I said, this turnover from Districts is beautifully done. He's popped it high, looking for an option, but just turned over. Anderson again, beautifully picked up. Snap on the left boot. It's drifting. Oh, he's better on it with a bit of a snap, I reckon, than a set shot.
Right.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah, terrific finish there from Jed Anderson, and as we said, he's been busy in the forward half since he's been pushed down there, and that time got himself on the board with a goal, and Districts looking good. But coming into the game, Districts really looked like they had firepower, didn't they? And we know that throughout the season, Nightcliff have been really miserly in defence, so that was always going to be a fascinating contest that way. But yeah, Nightcliff just struggling to get the ball forward at the moment, and Districts have got all of their passages out of defence blocked off, and turning it over and just keeping the pressure on in their forward 50.
So we'll see what the Tigers can muster up here. Ball goes high, White Ryan with the tap over the top. Picked up nicely there by Nightcliff and read well. It's put on the boot, boosted forward to try and find options in the forward line, but just turned over like that by an impressive defensive effort there from the Crocs. It's looking like Rusker's trying to find some options in the centre. Ball goes high, and Lone standing there and just done well and drilled into the forward line. Pushing that one forward there off the boot of Barry again, trying to find a player in space, and he does. Gee, this is a powerful
terrific
District
ball
side.
use, wasn't it? Like right from the back end, just pinpoint passes, and the last one from Barry to Brander was no exception, and he was out on the lead. And Brander comes into the round, the leading goal kicker in the league, and a chance to continue on his way with a set shot from out wide here.
See, there's a little bit of breeze in the background there, whether it'll help him out.
Oh, that's a shocking looking kick. It was just a floater, wasn't it? Just didn't get the ball drop right there, and it just punched away and through for a behind. So Brodie Philo retrieves the footy, and he'll bring it back in. And again,
50.
Must be a 50-metre penalty here, yeah. So being directed downfield, and Philo goes short to Darms, back end of the centre square. He switches out wide and finds
Buxton
out wide, who's had a jumper change, obviously, and just in 2 or 3 minds as to which way he should go. Eventually he decides to dump it long down the line. Ball slips over the back, but looks like Districts will be first there, although struggling to control it. Nicely done in the end by Burgess, and he swings around, clears it away, but only as far as Rinaldi out here, and Rinaldi switches inboard to a free player in Moody. Moody off straight away, switching to the outer side of the ground, and they've just taken it from one side to the other, and in the end Luke Wines, pushing down from half back, has got on the end of that one and taken a mark inside forward 50.
So be interesting here. Nightcliff just over the top of the 14-minute mark, just the one behind for the quarter. This would be perhaps the third forward entry they've had so far. Wines with booming kick, pushes that one forward. Oh, was it touched? No, it wasn't. Umpire's given him the goal. So just like that, Nightcliff on the board there.
Yeah, big Wyatt Ryan was down there, got a hand to it, but clearly the goal umpire judged that he was back behind the line when he touched it. So a much-needed goal for Nightcliff in reply to the 2 that Districts have scored in the opening minutes of the game.
So see, interesting movement happening here. We've seen in the opening, just under 15 minutes of this term, Philo being pushed back for Nightcliff in kind of that full-back position. So interesting to see whether or not they'll make the shift of him into the mid. We know how powerful he is in that space. So
yeah, just Just mixing things up a bit. He often does push back there to.
Oh, we can see he's come in.
Pushes back to take the kick-ins.
Yeah.
But a response from Nightcliff, and that'll relieve the home fans as Buxton wins the hit out, but only as far as Bowden. He hand passes over the top. Zeus has it knocked out of his hands at ground level. Philo's in there, fishes the ball out, looking for Politis. He uses it nicely by hand, but there's a whistle on the play here, and it's going to be a Nightcliff free kick off the ball, and coming back to Philo. Philo long down to half forward. Pack forms and a big punch from behind by Zach Smith, but ball's wrapped up at ground level, and it's Wines again at the bottom of the pack, stands up and gives the ball back, so maybe he's got something of a forward role at the moment. Of course, he's their goal kicker from moments ago. As the quick kick forward by Moody goes down to a one-on-one at full forward. Nicely trapped by his brother Moody, who swings it around. Jay Moody it was, and he kicks a nice goal there. Just worked it to ground in the one-on-one contest, and he was first to recover and picked up and snapped round the corner. It was a fantastic effort.
So that's the Nightcliff response there to 2 on the board early from Districts. So just about to enter 17-minute mark here of the first quarter. Score just might be a little bit off there. I believe it's 2-1-13 to 2-4-16 for the Crocs. So just a few behinds there. So we'll have a look here and see what they do with the reset.
So 17 minutes into this first quarter at Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval. It's conditions are pretty good, pretty warm as Tara said, as we expect this time of year. But the hit outs there, Anderson first to it, just toe pokes it off the ground, trying to get it to his own advantage, and he scooped it back behind him cleverly, and Barry's hand pass over the top, chopped off by Peris. His quick kick forward is taken by Twycross, who hand passes out wide, then looking to receive back, but the ball just fell short of him and didn't bounce kindly, and Anderson pushes him over the line and the ball goes with him.
How's that work rate from Anderson in terms of just chasing him down? So he's a great get for this district side. I know there's a lot of talk early in the season about where he might end up, so whether or not there was that Buffalo's tie for him. So to see him and what he's been able to do for this district side is really interesting. So the ball goes up again. Looks like Ryan's got the hand to it first. Politis gets wrapped up by the man Anderson. It'll be another ball up. So you can see Cockatoo making his way into the bit of the contest here as well. Ball goes up. It is Ryan again with hands to it first. Eilert doing his best to try and pick this one up off the deck. It's pushed forward there, trying to get picked up and into some space through the hand of their Barry, but turned over just like that by Henderson from the Tigers. Tigers doing what they can to push this one forward off the boot of Eilert. Trying to mark this one under pressure there from this impressive district side. Buxton might have been caught high, but he manages to get it into space, but just to be turned over by Delahy. Delahy gets wrapped up quickly. Ball again, desperate to get this one off the deck there. Managed to get it off the deck and put it into some space was Kennedy, but playing that goalkeeper role. Looks like Sam Smith there by the look of it. So Districts again working very impressive in this defensive space. Ball goes high opposite for the commentary wing. Cameron Eilert doing his best to get a hand to it. Will he be paid the mark? Yes, he will. So opportunity for them to get this one injected back into their forward line.
Yeah, had about 3 grabs at it, but clearly he was the only one that touched the ball as Moody just drifts across the front of the pack, gets his legs taken out, but now a quick kick forward again. I think this is another goal. It is, and it's another Nightcliff goal, and they've banged on 3 in pretty quick time all of a sudden, and I'm not sure who the goal kicker was, but
I saw Darm celebrating, but I don't think it came off his boot.
No, I couldn't be sure. I know that Jay Moody was in the action and thereabouts, but it's another Nightcliff goal, and that's got them in front for almost the first time in the game. They might have scored the first behind of the game, but they've got themselves a 3-point lead as we approach time on in this first quarter, and it is the contest that we were hoping for coming into the game, as Districts with the first 2 goals, and Nightcliff have responded with the last 3. So
Spoke about it earlier, Stu, in terms of the depth of this district side. Swap out really quickly there into Dennis from Ryan as it's turned over quickly and boosted into the forward line for districts. It'd be Nyhouse working under pressure there to try and get this ball into some space, but this Crocs forward entry doing what they can to get this one picked up. Brown under pressure early. Waistcoat doing what he can to get into some space, but he's wrapped up there by Brown. And Brown has been paid with the kick there as they opt for a bit of a switch on the wing. It'll be a chase to see if he can get there. Just pushes that one off the boot. Bit risky there as there's Taj Stanley lurking. He's got Philo in a bit of space. You can see Tigers looking desperately for options here, and it's Dylan Clark. He opted for a kick backwards just for a bit of a reset for them.
Looked like he was having a shot at goal.
I know.
Back to Henderson in the back pocket, and they're just switching it around across the back, happy to just soak up a bit of time and wait for something to open up as Norton goes out wide and follows up, receives back inboard, but still nothing to go to further up, and goes short to Philo instead across half back. Philo normally happy to bomb a long kick, but again they're just looking to maintain possession here as Southern Districts have got them well covered up the ground and given them no options. This time Norton kicks to a leading player in the big fella Buxton, who takes the mark. He chips around the wing and just falls short, and now Districts have got that turnover they were looking for as Smith goes short to Stanley. Stanley, long inside forward, 50 to a one-on-one, punched away from behind at ground level. Philo traps it on the bounce, hand passes backwards, but and then receives back again. Now just hooks one blindly towards half back. Could be a dangerous area as Clark gets a hand pass out. Twycross trying to break away. I think he was trying to take advantage from the free kick and got tackled, so the ball will come back and it'll be a Clark free kick at half back for Nightcliff. Switches out to Philo, still inside defensive 50. He's got a lead on the wing, and it's Buxton again who's doing plenty of lead-up work around the wing, but he goes short this time, too short I think, and play on's the call, but Peris cool under pressure, gets a hand pass off to Politis. Politis kicks high down towards half forward. The pack forms there, ball spills to ground. Kennedy scoops it back in and then hand passes forward, and the hand pass out but under pressure, and District's looking to run it out of defence. Bo Schwartz gets a long kick, got met pretty heavily after he kicked the ball, but no damage done. And there's a free kick there to Brander, who sees a free player inboard as Taj Stanley. Stanley inside centre 50, goes long inside forward 50, and just finding plenty of space out there was Kane Davidson. Hands off to Anderson, who came running from behind. Anderson kicks long towards goal. Goal umpire doesn't move much at all, and Jed Anderson has got his second goal on the board for Southern Districts and wins the lead back for them. So Jed Anderson, not really a goal kicker, Tara, but he's hit the board twice already in this game.
I think if you'd have asked me, Stu, who'd have 2 goals in the first quarter, Anderson wouldn't have been at the top of my list.
No.
So again, an absolute multi-tool for this district side, Anderson. So being able to just create some space there and move that ball well. You mentioned it earlier, Stu, about the ball work from this district side. It's very clean. They read it well. So they're managing to get this ball in some space and do some pretty effective work with it.
Yeah, of course, their coach Shannon Rusker is a stickler for skills, and yeah, they've been one of the leading sides all year after a bit of a slow start in the first couple of rounds, but they're a form side as we approach finals. But Nightcliff with the clearance this time through Clark, not his best kick, but it finds its way inside forward 50. George just working backwards, gets a hand pass across to Slee. Slee out wide looking for Stanley, goes over his head as Cockatoo couldn't control the ball, and it just dribbles out over the boundary line in front of him.
4.5 minutes here into extra time. Nightcliff 3-1-19 to the District's 3-4-22. This is exactly the contest that we thought we'd be seeing here tonight. So we'll see what will happen if there'll be a breakaway in the next kind of minute or so that'll be left in this first quarter.
Boundary umpire Jade Fairley throws that one in. Buxton just thumps it from behind, and Zeus got on the end of it, quickly threw it on the boot, kicks it high inside forward 50. Again, there's aerial contest for the ball, and it gets slapped to ground, but dragged in. Kyle Emery at the bottom of the pack picks himself up, and it'll be a ball up once again. Dennis thumps it forward, and the hand pass comes back, and now Districts work it away to the outer wing. Big Ryan gets one hand to the ball, works it to the front, then has to do the roving himself, gets the hand pass to Fijo, and now Districts working it again out to Ross. Ross, long inside forward 50, a one-on-one contest down there. Brander tried to get his opponent out of the way, and he's on the second effort. Picks up, wheels around into the goal square. Ruska's there, tries to break the tackle, but that's almost a throw, you would think. And I think that's the way the umpire's seen it, as Nightcliff again were looking to take the advantage, but just went astray, so the free kick will come back, and it'll be a Nightcliff free kick and a 50-metre penalty again. So yeah, just a little bit of confusion there, but so the pressure relieved for Nightcliff, and so Moody in short to Rinaldi. Rinaldi off and running, delivers out wide. It goes over the head of Buxton into the hands of Clark. Clark with a centering ball, just off target there. Picked up by Kennedy, but he's tackled straight away, taken to ground, and he's going to be penalised here. The free kick will go to Ruska. Ruska chips wide and finds Jack Palmer. Palmer switches back inboard to Dennis. Dennis hooks one round the corner. It's a bit of a wobbler, and Brown's read that best. He chops it off, hand passes, and Big Cox gets a hand pass over to Wines, and now Nightcliff working it forward. Cody Zoost on the left kicks it high inside forward 50. That's a difficult one for his forwards to mark, as the ball taken by Burgess close to the boundary line, and carries it over for another throw in. So 27 minutes gone first quarter, can't be too much time left, and it's Districts by 3 points.
So ball in here, we are in the Nightcliff forward 50. Opportunity for them here to hopefully sneak one in front of Districts as we enter the quarter time break. Dennis just overshoots it a little bit, so it's Buxton doing the work to try and get it into some space. Picked up nicely there by Swartz, but he will be tackled, whether or not it's paid. It's a bit of back and forth there. Again, tension's high during this game.
Yeah, Zach Moody getting the attention of the opposition, which happens pretty frequently actually, but he does a great job for his team, and he's won himself a free kick here, and the siren's gone. So this is a shot for goal after the siren. You can see the umpire standing behind, making sure he doesn't get off the line of his kick. He kicks long towards goal. The kick looks pretty good. As it got there, it's gone right to the line. I think that might have got over. It has gone over. So another Nightcliff goal that's just centimetres over the line. And with that goal, Nightcliff snatched back the lead right, well, after the siren, a quarter time, Tara.
They do. Nightcliff 4-1, 25 to Southern Districts 3-4, 22. Absolute blockbuster. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after quarter time break.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro, or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge, or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, viewers, to round 17 action here of the 23-24 TIO NTFL season, broadcasting live from Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval. Exactly the challenge that we thought was going to be up against these sides today. An absolute blockbuster of an opening quarter. Nightcliff 4-1-25, Southern Districts 3-4-22. We're back for second quarter action. Districts had a lot of momentum in the opening kind of minutes of the first quarter, or probably opening half of the first quarter, but Nightcliff kind of coming back to play in the last bit of it, Stu.
Yeah, definitely. That hit back hard, didn't they, with 4 of the last 5 goals, and looking like the top side that they are, as Moody again gets his hands on the ball in the middle of the ground, goes through the hands to Darms. Darms throws it on the right bit. Oh, running back with the flight of the ball. Nakai Cockatoo.
Wow.
Takes a terrific mark and now gives off by hand, and District's trying to work it from the back half. That Palmer takes the mark inside the centre square, thought about going wide, then decided to go down the ground again and finds Bowden. Bowden swings around on the left boot now, kicks long out wide, and Ross takes that mark. Jonathan Ross swings inboard. He's got Brander on the long lead, gets his hands to it, but spills the mark unusually as Philo comes in and tidies up, gets the hand pass out, and got hit pretty solidly as he hand passed that out. And Scott's taken the mark out wide, but just looking to see if the ball might have to come back here. In fact, it is, so it's going to be a Philo free kick back at half back for Nightcliff. He goes long to the outer side of the ground, just spills forward. Scott's there at ground level. He's off and running, kicks long down to a one-on-one. And
read well.
Good use of the body there by Clark, just out-positioned his opponent and held his ground, took the mark, and he'll go back and take the set shot.
So as I said earlier, Nightcliff were dominant in the final half of the first quarter. So interesting to see here if they can carry on with that momentum. As Clark comes in, puts it on the right. It's a high kick, heading towards goal.
Yeah.
And just like that, they've got one across the board again. So increases Nightcliff there, bumps them up to 5 goals, 31.
Yeah, quality player Dylan Clark, of course, and just positioned himself beautifully, and the shot at goal never looked like missing, did it? The goal umpire hardly moved, and distance was never a problem. So a terrific start in this second quarter for Nightcliff, as Big Buxton back in the middle of the ground against Matty Dennis and 2 powerhouse ruckmen in the competition, going head to head here. It's a fascinating contest, as umpire Chris Woods just has a look around, see, make sure everyone's in position, and gets us underway again, as Dennis just avoids the contact with Buxton and takes it out of the air, but Moody off his wing again gets another touch, kicks forward, just eludes Buxton down there, and now Nightcliff a chance going inside forward 50, passes good, and Zeus on the end of it takes the mark. He's got Darms running around the back, but ignores that. I think he's pretty well within range, and Cody Zeus is a goal kicker. I recall kicked 5 goals in his first game for Nightcliff, so he'll go back for the set shot here, and it's all Nightcliff in the early minutes of this second quarter.
Yes, it is. Zeus comes in, a couple of steps in, puts that one through, might drift across to the behind. Yes, it has. So just the behind for Zeus early on. So opportunity for a reset here and to get a bit of control back of this game for Districts. They've had a lot of power and control in the opening few minutes of the first quarter, so we'll see what they can muster up here. Ball goes in, looking for a target in Stanley Waste. Cody goes high but spills the mark, doing what he can to recover and get that one off the deck there, trying to be assisted by Anderson. Anderson does well to get that one off the ground, moves around, hand pass over the top, beautifully done there by Palmer. Palmer trying to find some space there. It'd be George with a hand pass quick, feed Joe with a boot over the top, looking for, unfortunately, Bowden, but just drifted right to trickle across the boundary line. So Nightcliff will get the ball back here and do what they can to get that one into the space off the boot of Wines. Goes high, flyer. He might be paid the mark here. Yes, he has been. Beautiful high fly from Kennedy. Kennedy puts that one in. Beautiful defensive work by the Crocs, and it'll just trickle over the boundary line there, so we'll have a boundary ball.
Yeah, Zach Smith just just it was clear, perhaps could have attempted the mark, but took the safety option and thumped it over the boundary line and forced the stoppage. So the throw in again, you can see how crowded it is in that forward line as Nightcliff just trying to work it quickly. Philo gets a kick forward as he falls backwards, and now again terrific pressure on after the possession's taken, and Barry tries to run away out of defence. He gets tackled to the ground, but I think the ball's coming back. Few people standing up a bit sore out of that contest.
I think Dennis is a big again. Body.
Hooked over the back, Zeus at ground level, tries to swing it around. There's a kick from deep in the pocket. Districts try to work it out across the face of goal. Ball bounces favourably initially, but now it's Wines, gets on the end of it, swings back onto his left boot, kicks wide, and finds Jacob Brown out wide on the outer side of the ground. And Nathan Brown, isn't it, who finds Scott out wide. Takes the mark and now kicks long down towards the goal square. Ball falls forward. Moody at ground level on the left. Tries to snap it. Just got pushed over. Got it out to Eilert. His kick smothered. There's about 3 smothers in a row there, and eventually the ball works its way over the boundary line. So apologies to Nathan Brown. He's only played 300 games. So
who's Jacob Brown? When I was going through my team sheet, I was like, I'm sure that's Nathan, Stu. Sorry, Nathan.
Yeah, that's right.
Stu will give you a call during the week.
Haven't seen enough of him over the last 15 years.
No, or the last 15 minutes. He's had an absolute blinder of an opening quarter too. So we'll have a reset here. Ball will go up.
You can see there's a free kick.
Free kick. So another opportunity to strike and get one on the board here for the Tigers.
Yeah, it's Moody again.
Coming through.
Yep,
umpire looks happy with it. Yes.
It is. Yep. It's Zach Moody again, who obviously was involved in something off the play and got himself another free kick and another goal. So that's his second goal from free kicks. He had, of course, had the one after the siren in the first quarter, and Nightcliff now with those 2 goals have kicked 6 of the last 7 in the game, and so Districts were looking good early in the piece, but they've got some work to do now.
So you can see the District's captain coming in here, Staunton, wearing the 0 Guernsey for a very special round with a significant message, the Towards Zero round. So you don't often see zeros on the back of Guernsey, Stu. So it's a great round and a brilliant partnership between the Northern Territory Football League and Towards Zero campaign. So see what they can muster up here. Dennis on Buxton. Anderson doing what he can to get it out of the centre. Does well to pick it up and try to get it into some space here. Looking for his captain in Staunton. He's got waistcoat in support if he needs. Be a bit of pressure, and it is. So beautiful pressure there applied by Billy Henderson from the Tigers against the captain there for Districts in Staunton to get that one over the line. So we'll have a reset here and a ball in.
So from the ball in just forward of centre wing as Anderson runs onto that. He gets met solidly, gets his hand pass out. I think the whistle's gone as Cotter tried to take advantage there, but the free kick will come back to Anderson. And he looking for the short option. The kick's good and it's marked by Schwartz down at half forward. Bo Schwartz swings back inboard now onto the left, and he kicks high to the top of the goal square. In fact, it's going a bit further across than that, and all the way across. And I think it might have been touched and bounced over the line, and it'll be a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Southern Districts.
So you can see a lot of yellow and black Guernseys here. Pushed into defence. Ball goes high. White Ryan gets a hand to it. Looks like it's come off the boot of Cockatoo. Stanley Waistcoat just skips over the top of him. Snap off the boot. Has he got it? Just gone. You can see a punter in the crowd there's just been nearly absolutely falconed in his camp chair, but he's got it.
It is a goal. It was Jordan Cotter.
Fantastic.
Who got on the end of that and snapped it through, and Cotter, you can see he's making his way back to half back, which is where he normally plays. But obviously had a role to fulfil, and found he was way all the way down in the forward 50, and an opportunist goal, and one that Districts really needed to just settle things on the scoreboard a bit. The margin's only 10 points, so it's not panic stations, but as we said, Nightcliff had strung some goals together, and we're starting to open that lead up, so I'm sure Shannon Rusker will be really happy that Districts have just pegged one back and give themselves a chance to reset in the middle again. Buxton with his hand to the ball, Darms running onto it, picks up and kicks in the one motion out wide. Out in front was Politis. He got met as he picked the ball up, and the ball spilled out consequently, and again Darms was in there but carried over the line. In fact, it's a ball up, so a stalemate there as the hit out comes down. Ryan gets a kick away around the outer wing, and the mark taken out there by Stanley for Southern Districts. Goes long round the outer side of the ground. Dennis in front, couldn't take the mark. Ross got his hands to the ball, couldn't control it though under pressure, and the ball's over the boundary line for another throw in.
Almost a very impressive passage of play there if that one would have went off. A beautiful tap to an oncoming Jonathan Ross, but just didn't bounce the way they would have liked as the ball gets a reset here. Well read there by Ryan. Ryan will run after it to see what he can get and muster up, but it's Darms with a hand pass off the deck there that's picked up beautifully. Philo creating some space and pushing that one forward to be a foot race so he can get there first. Looking like Slee, who's got a boot to it to push that one right back where it came from, and it'll just go over the boundary.
So just a bit of a stalemate here. The ball trapped on the outer side of the ground. Not too much traction being made by either side. As again, this strong ruck contest, the ball straight down in front. Quick kick comes forward, chopped off across half back by Kennedy. He hand pass forward to Eilert. Eilert short round the outer side of the ground. The hand pass comes inboard, but only as far as Ryan. Ryan gives off to Schwartz. Schwartz goes long down towards the goal square. Brander comes from behind and just makes his way to front position and takes a mark. Decides to kick in short, and he does, and finds Bowden, who's on a slightly better angle. And he'll go back and take the set shot for goal. So Michael Bowden, who's had a bit of a change of role this year. Normally he's stuck solidly in defence, but doing a bit more work in the midfield and pushing forward. So a chance to score again for Districts here as his set shot goes high towards goal, and just bangs into that left-hand goal post, and a behind only for Southern Districts.
So opportunity for a reset here, as you said before. Had the last 6 goals of the game, apart from the one Nightcliff managed to get from a snap off their defender's boot in Clark. So Nightcliff here looking to get on top again, leading by 10 points currently. It'll be Philo with the job to kick this one out. He opts for a long bomb, traditional long bomb from Philo. Goes high, you can see from Norton, the fist over the top. Trying to get his hand to it, you can see Slee under pressure there. Darms unable to pick that one up off the deck. Slee again with a hand pass to it, running that one down the boundary wing, and it's impressive. Puts that one on the right boot, pushes that one forward. It'll bounce into some space here for Ross, but ball will be called back.
Yeah, Jonathan Ross just hasn't found himself in space today.
No.
Obviously, Jonathan Peris with the job on him, and he's got the clamps on pretty tightly, so he'll be looking to break free and get some possession of Schwartz at ground level. Snaps on the left boot towards goal. It bounces in towards the goal line, and Norton just forces it into the goal post to concede a behind as Henderson brings the ball in quickly to Darms straight up the middle of the ground. He's got a runner from behind in Philo, but chips short to Henderson instead. Philo keeps running and receives, and now delivers down towards half forward out in front of Wines again. He hand passes up to Clark. Clark centering ball. That's a beautiful kick, beautiful pass, and the mark's taken by Moody out in front of the goal square. This time it's Jay Moody who takes the mark, and he'll go back for the set shot directly in front, but again, a good build-up by Nightcliff. Good use of the ball and terrific vision by Dylan Clark to see Moody and kick the ball to his advantage.
And then the impressive work rate from Philo from the kick out as well to continue to make himself available during that passage of play. Really well done. Ball comes off the boot high, looking accurate. Umpire looks happy with it, so do the teammates, and yes, he's got that one through. So another one on the board for Nightcliff. Just extend that lead that little bit further, puts them at 7-2-44. Districts 4-6-30. So 14-point margin.
Yeah, Jay Moody that time, never in doubt the set shot for goal, but as we said, a terrific build-up by Nightcliff, and they get that goal in response to the Jordan Cotter goal minutes ago. So just stretch that lead out again to 14 points.
Very impressive midfield here. You could see on screen Districts just kind of bringing it together, coming up with maybe something a little bit different, or tell him to stick to whatever the game plan was leading into it. Ball goes up again. Good ruck contest there against Cox and Ryan. Ryan doing well to get that one off the deck and get it to Anderson in some space. Anderson with a cheeky little tap over the top to find Taj Stanley, which he does. He's got Bowden running and in some space. Bowden takes a bit of a step, puts that one on the left. It goes high and just turned over beautifully by their trusted captain, Ryan Nyhouse. You can see Ben Vile on screen just supporting there, looking to find some options, which he does through the hands of Zeus. Again, District's doing well to keep this game tight. Puts that one forward. Ball goes high, spills over the top. Staunton there under pressure early from Darms. Just pushed forward again. It'll be Taj Stanley in some space, but again under pressure by Darms. Darms wrapping him up, but it's pushed over the top there. It hasn't come off the boot. You'd think Kennedy would have liked pressure contest, trying to get hands on this footy. It'll be Politis doing what he can to get it in some space. Ryan there using his body as he can. Finds Anderson, but it might be chopped off there by Brown. Impressive. Beautifully done, and that might get them into some space here. You can see they've got numbers on the left of screen. Opts to go straight down the centre. Finds Darms. Darms looks to play on quickly, which he does, and opts for a bit of a switch to the opposite wing. Goes high, it's a floater, but good defensive pressure there from Districts, and it'll just go over the boundary line.
Yeah, big Wyatt Ryan, you see on screen there, jogging over to take part in this contest. He's been pretty impressive today. He's up against some strong opposition, as we've said earlier, and he's more than held his own in the ruck contest as we wait for this one. This time he's uncontested as he just paddles it forward, but it's going to come back for a rethrow, I think. That one just fell a bit short and really didn't give Stanley Cox much of a chance in the contest. So we'll try again, and this time Cox comes in, gets a left hand to it, but straight down to Districts who clear it to the outer side of the ground. It's punched away. Philo at ground level. Sprinting away, gets around a couple of Districts opponents, kicks long towards goal, but just pulls it to the left-hand side and through for a behind only.
So not a lot of inaccuracies from Nightcliff today. That's just their third behind for the 2 quarters so far. As we get a reset and opportunity here for Districts to get back into this game. 15-point margin. The man with the job there, Burgess, pushes that one forward, doing what he can to try and find Dennis, who spills the mark there. Nightcliff looking to take advantage through Emery. Emery with it over the top there, finds Twycross. Over to Islet. Oh, beautiful smother. Great smother defensive work there from Districts. Hand pass over the top, finds Anderson. It might be high, but he's played on through Barry. Barry does well there to get that one into some space. It'll be a foot race so he can get there. A bit of a push-off play there from Brander, but does well to keep this into space. It'll be a bit of a foot race so he can get to it. Buxton does well to get Waistcoat away, and it's Scott who's got advantage of it, pushes that one forward. A player in space. Beautifully done there, and it'll be through the hands of Kennedy, playing on quickly with it. Puts a bit of a floater in. It's beautifully done there. It looks like Kyle Emery will have the job here to get another one on the board for Nightcliff.
Just another terrific passage, wasn't it, Tara?
Yeah.
Terrific use of the ball from the defensive half, and just hit targets all the way down the ground and eventually into the hands of Emery, who Hasn't seen a lot of the footy today, but now has a chance with a set shot.
So for the 8th goal for Nightcliff, Emery comes in. It's a good kick. It looks good. It might just go across the face. No. Beautifully done. It's on the board. 1 on the board there for Emery. And the 8th goal for Nightcliff. 8-3-51 to District's 4-6-30. Blowing that margin out to 21 points. Might be our largest of the game so far.
Yeah, I think it is. And Nightcliff continuing to impress, aren't they? As we've said a number of times, looking to maintain that top spot on the ladder, which is an important one, of course. Means you get the first week of the finals off, and you're right in the action heading towards the grand final. So Southern Districts, a loss here potentially puts their place in the top 3 under a bit of pressure as well. So as we said, they don't play next week, have the bye next week, so they'd be looking to bounce back.
Interested to know, there's a bit of a back and forth about it. A fan of the bye leading into finals, Stu, or how do you, some teams see it as a bit of a curse, some don't. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it depends, and it's hard when you have a bye team. I know in the women's competition last year, Pint had the bye in the last round and had the first week of finals off, so and struggled in that first final that they played, so and lost. So yeah, it's a conversation piece, isn't it? Especially with a final 5 and a team that has the bye in the last round. So anyway, the game's underway again.
Sorry guys, having a chat here.
Downs to Moody to Kennedy long, looking for Emery down there. The ball just out of his reach and then bounces back past him, and Smith comes in to put some pressure on and see the ball over the boundary line.
So again, Nightcliff being able to get this one into their forward 50 in a matter of seconds out of the ruck contest and the reset. So we'll see what they can do here, because there's a lot of bodies pushed back for Crocs in defence as well. Dennis does well to get a hand to it first. Cooper Dharma attempting to pick it up, but is just shrugged off it by Cockatoo, and we might have another ball up here. Oh, thrown it the opposite direction of where the umpire was there. Ball goes up again. Dennis with the fist to it, pushes that one forward. You can see working overtime to try and get control of that footy was Moody, but collided with a teammate in Philo and has just gone over the boundary line, so we'll have yet another ball in.
So we're into time on, 22 minutes gone, second quarter, and it's been Nightcliff's quarter, 4 goals to 1 in the quarter so far, so they'll be pretty happy with that. Dennis over the top, thumps it forward. Quick kick out of the congestion. Schwartz at ground level just got dragged off the ball, and he'll take the free kick. And Bo Schwartz been really impressive again today. He's had a terrific season, and he kicks long around the outer side of the ground, but Buxton's going to be first there. Just punched it away when he probably could have taken the mark there. As Ross comes in, he gets tackled with the ball, doesn't dispose of it properly, and it'll be a Nightcliff free kick going all the way back here to Peris, who's done a terrific defensive job on Ross so far, and he's happy just to chip it wide and backwards, and Bile takes that mark. Again, long around the boundary line, but standing tall is big Wyatt Ryan, Matty Dennis, sorry it is, who takes that mark on the outer side of the ground. Doesn't really have a lot to go to, so just thumps it back to where it came from, and off hands the ball goes over the boundary line, and it'll be a throw in just around from the scoreboard at the Southern District's scoring end of the ground.
So this Tigers side here has been hailed as one of the best defensive kind of backlines that we have in the Premier League competitions, so been interesting to see a bit of it on display today, and it's interesting to see what they can do to potentially hold back Districts, where the ball just being dragged again over the boundary line, so we'll have another ball in. So a ball up here. Buxton on Dennis, manages to get Dennis away from it, and Buxton gets his hands to it as well. It's picked up, or attempted to be picked up there by Cotter, but he shrugged off it. Ball gets into some space there. It's picked up nicely there by Zeus. Zeus trying to get it into some space, but it's Bowden who gets a fist to it. Tackled beautifully and under pressure there was Staunton. And Looks like will be paid the tackle. No, it'll be a ball up. Ball goes up again. Good ruck contest, hit back there. Adrian Scott in some space, and he's got some time here to get into, but Taj Stanley under pressure.
Great tackle.
And a beautiful tackle there to run him down was done by Bo Schwartz. Ball goes high, a few attempts at mark there. Dylan Barry trying to get his hands to it as well, but just beat to the boundary line.
So, throw in again in District's forward half as Wyatt Ryan's making it clear that he's the nominated ruck person for Districts against Buxton. Ryan in front gets it down. Cockatoo got his hands to it. Back to Ryan, who throws it on the left boot, kicks long. Dennis gets his hands to the ball. Couldn't take the mark. It spills to Barry at ground level. I think he's got one under the legs of everyone else. And that's a terrific goal. Dylan Barry that time. A terrific goal. Just found the gap between players. And that's a crucial goal late in this second quarter to Southern Districts as they look to close that gap and get it back to 15 points in the dying moments of this second quarter.
So it's a second on the board there for Barry as well, with a goal in the opening term and another obviously just moments ago. So 8-3-51, Districts 5-6-36, coming back for the reset. See Buxton making his way back into the ruck here against Wyatt Ryan. Great matchup. A few adjustments here into the mid. Ball goes up, ruck fly, but it's Buxton who gets a hand to it first. He pushes that one forward into some space, but it's Anderson who read it like a book. Politis there with a beautiful intercept mark, hand pass that one over, and it goes high. Looking for players in space. Great defensive work there by Districts, and it's Adrian Scott doing what he can against a sea of crocodiles, but Philo with a snap over the top from behind. The umpire with a very impressive view style goes, yep, that is all yours. Beautifully done there from Philo to read that.
It was, but a bit of a brain fade from the District's defence. I think they had the ball in hand and just put it into a dangerous space, and no more dangerous player than Brody Philo to be on the end of it. And he just works a bit of magic over his head and puts it through and just snuffs out that responsive goal from Districts earlier. So we thought that it was a late one to Barry to close the margin, but Nightcliff have worked it forward and got one themselves. So that stretches that lead back out to 21 points again, which is a pretty handy lead close to half time.
So you can see, I think, only the one scoring shot different for these two sides, but Districts with a little few inaccuracies early on. That's kind of the difference in this at the moment as the ball goes up there and a few players there doing what they can to get hands to it. It's picked up nicely there by Cotter, but will be called back into the middle here. Or has 50 been paid? No?
No, I think Districts wanted a downfield free kick, but it's not paid that way. So it's Cotter with the free kick. As the siren's gone, so he'll have his work cut out from here. That's why he's going the big barrel. He's got onto it pretty well, but doesn't bother the score, and so that ends the first half here at Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval. A terrific contest, but Nightcliff looking really impressive as they have done for most of the year, and a quarter that they dominated in parts, but certainly outscored Districts 5-2 and set themselves up really well at half-time, Tara.
Yeah, they certainly did. Nightcliff 9-3-57 to Southern Districts 5-6-36. We'll be back right after half-time.
You know Territorians go a long way for one another.
So it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we are here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling expenses. And that goes a long way when you're away.
Get a quote today.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
Looking for a fun day out with your family or friends? Putt on over to Palmerston Mini Golf. With our beautifully landscaped course suitable for all ages, you'll have a blast playing mini golf here at Palmerston. We offer the perfect setting for kids' birthday parties, complete with special packages to make their day unforgettable. And if you're looking to have some fun with your mates, we have you covered too. Play during the day or under lights. We're open until 10 p.m.
And we'll see you around Palmerston Mini Golf.
Find us at the Palmerston Golf and Country Club.
So we're here on a Friday night for our NAB AFL Auskick, where we run a girls only option and the kids are pumped, ready to rock and roll and have some fun with the footy.
We signed our daughter up for Auskick because her big brother did Auskick last year and she just loves it. I thought signing her up for a girls only group would be a great chance for her to kind of be with some friends in a comfortable environment.
The thing about a girls only team that I think Zoe really enjoys is that she gets to run around with like-minded girls. They get distracted, they do cartwheels, they hold hands, they sing. It just makes it a bit more of a fun experience.
I like Auskick because I get to play with my sister. We love Auskick!
A number of parents have asked if their daughter has to be in your girls group, and they don't. There will be some girls that will naturally just gravitate to brothers or cousins and join the boys group and have just as much fun if it were to be single sex. So yeah, there's definitely options there every Friday night.
My girls just love interacting with the other girls here. They love kicking a footy, they love learning the skills, and they love the hot dog at the end. I love joining in with my girls. I actually can't help myself, and I love to see the skills not only of my kids but of the other kids in their girls only group really developing over the clinic.
Evie just loves playing the games, learning new things. She'll be doing it then for the rest of the weekend, doing her favourite kicks, telling us how many goals she kicked on Friday night.
The best thing about Auskick is that it's really fun. It's lots of fun for them.
Yeah!
Barty gets a hand pass out to Mackenzie. Mackenzie kicks high and wide to half forward. Munkara's going to get there first. He takes the mark. Looked like he wanted to play on. He's called to play on, but clever enough to get around the player on the mark. Kicks long from outside 50 towards goal. It looks good. That's the way he likes it. Doesn't like the simple set shots, Nick. He likes to make it as hard as he can, and he did exactly that and pumped it through for the first goal of the game.
And to said 3 goals, this shouldn't be a very long quarter at all.
Oh, the kick's just overcooked and gives Saints the chance. As the hand pass comes out to Dylan Lant, he kicks towards goal. I think he's snuck it through. It was Paredes who got it to Lant, and the 2 players down here as the ball hits the defensive 50. Some good work by Glover. Paddled it out to the advantage of Dylan Lant. Dylan Lant on the right boot, kicks towards goal. You wouldn't believe it. He's put it straight through the middle from about a metre inside the boundary line. A goal out of nothing there for St Mary's. But quickly the hand pass comes out here. The chip across the ground. And the mark's taken here by Ted Castle just at the front edge of the centre square. Saints attacking area. He kicks long towards the goal square. It could go all the way here. It's going to go all the way. That's a magnificent kick as Tex Corowa got back, thought about taking the mark, had a quick look at the goal line and saw it floating towards it and let it go. But Edmonds picks up, gets a dribble kick forward to the advantage of Paredes, who ducks back inside. He hand passes off, and now a long kick from Musgrave towards goal. It's going to go all the way through from just inside the forward 50 out there, and Mitch Musgrave having a terrific game tonight. One level, it's picked up by Klusky, but his kick was smothered, and now Cassidy again finds some space, kicks long. Everyone falls over except Magro. Magro out the back, takes the mark, runs off and bangs it through for a Waratah goal, a much needed Waratah goal. Set up behind the ball as Corowa comes across the front. The ball spills to the ground. Offerman's kicks off a step as into the goal square. I think Glover's got a toe to it, and it's dribbled all the way through. He was celebrating when the ball was still a couple of metres out being chased, but he kicks long down towards half forward. The ball off hands, spills over the back. Musgrove trying to paddle it forward, gets it to the advantage of Offermans. He's got some space now, runs towards goal, kicks truly through for another St Mary's goal. Fist pumping in the air all the way. Just missed the target, and Saints have pounced again. Tedcastle this time running through the centre square, delivers out in front of Glover. He takes the mark, he's off and running. He signals to Tedcastle in appreciation of the pass as he's running towards goal, and then just keeps running and thumps it through, and the game's almost done, Nick.
Yep.
Woods again. And Davies looking to switch to the outer side of the ground. This is a dangerous kick. It's a chance for Tars now. As coming in there is Hillis. He takes it. Hand passes off to Magro, standing in the goal square by himself. And just a bit casual there from Saints.
Yes.
Thought they had control of the ball, but plenty of Tars players working back. But Souter does really well to get it back to Paredes. He hand passes forward to Jack Lant. Jack Lant off and running into the open goal from about 30 metres out. Just thumps it through. So as Tars just chipping it around the outer side of the ground. The siren goes to end the game, and in the end, a convincing victory to St Mary's, Nick.
Yeah, 43 points in the end, 3 points at quarter time, 4 at half time, 31 at three-quarter time, and they just finish it off then with a 43-point victory.
For Nightcliff at centre half forward. He's gone the short option on the left. Pretty casual, but effective, and just advances the ball about 10 metres, and Cody Zust takes the mark. Stammering run up, kicks on the way. I think he's done exactly as you've said, Nick.
Yep.
And just squeezed it inside that left-hand goalpost. So the first goal of the game goes to Nightcliff, and it's Cody Zust. And Zust takes the mark. Now chips the ball forward, looking for Peris at half forward. It's a well-weighted kick. And Peris takes the mark over the back and goes back and steadies down. Peris kicks along towards goal. I think he's judged that one pretty well. He has. It's through for another Nightcliff goal, and this is a worrying start to the game for Pint. Nightcliff with the first 3 goals on the board. He's himself from here. It's a long kick going right to the goal line. It's players fly for the ball. It's loose on the ground. There's a snapshot at goal, and I think it's good. It is. And that was Cooper Darms that got on the bottom of that. And Brad Ryan under a bit of pressure kicks inboard towards half forward. But Nightcliff again with the numbers in defence, and they just run it away. And now Moody has a bounce and then swings a hand pass out wide to Darms. Darms goes in towards goal, and kicks it easily enough with an unprotected goal square, and just put it through without much trouble whatsoever. But wasn't in any better position, and Nightcliff have turned this over again. Sing Lippo gets it out wide to Eilert with a bit of time. Hits the pass, it gets over the back and to the advantage of Nightcliff as Buxton runs onto it, kicks towards goal. It's bouncing in the goal square, and it bounces all the way through. And the big fella's got himself on the scoreboard from that passage of play. Cut across the front of the pack, got a hand to it, and then controlled the ball at ground level. But it's Pint trying to bring the ball away again. Again, their skills let them down, and it's picked up by Darms, who thumps the ball in. He's celebrating as soon as he's kicked it, and it's another Nightcliff goal in this second quarter.
And that's Cooper's 3rd goal for the night.
Forward, big leap from behind, and pulling it down. Rinaldi there just flicks the ball over the top and falls into the hands of O'Brien. O'Brien out wide, looking for Jones out there, but the ball spills to the ground. Here's a chance for Pint on the left foot, and it's through for a goal. They've got there first, and just looking to see who it is that they're all congratulating. The wing working his way to the front was Garnham. The ball was thumped away, but Brett on the run for Pint, kicks long. It cuts it over the back to Jones again, but it slips through his hands. But at ground level, here's a chance, and the snapshot is good. And it's another Pint goal in this last quarter, and this time it was Marsden who got on the end of that one. And Politis is going to go all the way back to Henderson as the siren goes, and ends the game, one in which Nightcliff have had control for most of the game, Nick, but Pint did manage to put a little bit of respectability on the scoreboard in the last quarter.
Absolutely, 8-12, 60 to 3, 8-26, a 44-point win. So
kicks it in, Cantilla. Brendan Cantilla moves it quickly. This is what I love of the Tiwi Bombers. And has that carried over? I think it's carried over. It's a goal. They're just confirming it is.
Footy, handball now by Thompson, going back inboard to Cantilla. He shrugs the tackle, takes a bounce, runs inside 50 and puts it on the right. And whoa! Another goal for the Tiwi Bombers. Almost 13 minutes into this first quarter.
So Ryan hits it down to Jono Ross, if you don't mind. Kicked 9 last week and he's got his goal tally ticking forward with 1.
Flew, taps it backwards, but no one there. Front position, Tiwi Bombers gets the hands off, but it goes straight to Sam Smith. Smith looks straight at the goal, straight over the top of the umpire's head, and Sam Smith with a goal for the Crocs.
Field, the ball's cracked straight to him. Waistcoat takes it. Has a snap on goal. Brander's going to track this. He takes the mark and held
Played
up
on.
and then kicks the goal, but the umpire says, yep, that's okay. And Brander has his 5th goal.
Oh, little toe poke on the boot now. Trying to work it out there, the Tiwi Bombers.
Advantage paid, and Anderson, he's kicked it. And he celebrates by grabbing his jumper. District's well in the lead now, 54 points. Tiwi, can they get a goal? They pick it up in the goal square, and they've got one. They've snagged one back there, the Tiwi Bombers. Well done. And I think that was Thompson.
Yeah.
Hits the ground running. Poor Jimmy. Does it stay in? Nice. Poor Jimmy. Oh, can he kick it? Can he get the second? 2 in a row he has.
Oh,
poor
great
Jimmy.
goal.
Well done. And there is the man that I marked. Barry charging at the footy. Just puts it off. Well done, Dylan Barry. Ruska has a shot and he's nailed it. You can thank Dylan Barry, the pressure that he applied there on the back 6 for the Tiwi Bombers. And Brendan Ruska gets his first goal there by Braden Rioli. 1-on-1. Stanley Tipalura at the back. Kicks it off the ground and kicks it. Clever work there by Stanley Tipalura. Didn't have front position.
Welcome back. You're watching AFL NT and NT News' coverage of the 2023-24 TIO NTFL season. Round 17 action here, broadcasting live from Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval. We've got a significant matchup here. Top of the table clash, what might some have said looks like our grand final preview here with two very high-performing teams. Nightcliff having a very dominant open half and Southern Districts just trickling away in the last few moments of the second quarter there. Stu, what are your thoughts on the opening half of footy?
Yeah, they've had their moments, Districts, haven't they? And probably haven't taken all of their chances either. But they're well and truly in the game, and they've got talent all across the ground. So they've just got to get their hands on the ball. And we've seen them move the ball beautifully at times, and just need a bit more of that as Matty Dennis wins a hit out, goes in and chases it, gets it across to Anderson, but that's been called a throw, and it's going to come back, and it'll be a Nightcliff free kick in the middle of the ground. And Philo, of course, is always in there as he takes the free kick, kicks high towards the outer side of the ground, and well read and well marked by Mitchell Burgess. Burgess chips it around the outer side of the ground, just gets it over his opponent, and the mark taken down there by George, who drills a pass in, but Moody chops across and now thumps the ball back to where it came from, and a bit more on it as Emery gets on the end of it, takes the mark. Thought about hand passing to the running player, but kicks instead. Kennedy can't quite hold the mark under pressure from Cotter, and now it's George out of defence who kicks long to the outer side of the ground. At ground level, Rusker through the hands, and just a couple of dinky kicks that really didn't go anywhere, and now a snapshot for goal has just gone across the face, so wasn't much of a build-up at all, and eventually Nightcliff got their hands on the ball and had an opportunity.
So opportunity here for Districts to have a bit of a reset here and gain some composure. Drilling this one, as you said, we spoke about their ball work early in the first term. So very disciplined side here and can move it very well. So we'll see what they can muster up here as they drill this one forward, opting for the commentary wing here, but turned over under pressure there by Nightcliff. Working well and comes through the hands there, but good defensive pressure there from Fijo there, keeping control of this game, and we'll have a throw in.
Yeah, Nightcliff looking to break there with the hand pass over the top, but almost a basketball intercept from Fijo, just battered it out of bounds, and a stoppage here.
So reset here. Great ruck contest all day between Buxton and Dennis as Anderson manages to get that one into a little bit of space. No one cleared, picked that one up yet, but it is an opportunity here to go bang. Will it drift around? Yes, it does. What a fantastic moment there for Dylan Barry, and it gets him on the board yet again. I want to say it's his third, Stu.
Yeah, it is, one in each quarter, and he kicked the opening goal of the game, and he's kicked the opening goal of the second half as well. So again, just an opportunist half-forward goal, ran onto the loose ball and found himself in space, only about 20 metres out from goal. So I don't know what happened to that much-hyped Nightcliff defence, but they found a hole in at that time and close it up early in the third quarter, back to 16 points.
And it's just what the doctor ordered for them, as you said, narrowing that margin down to the 16 points for Districts. Nightcliff 9-4, 58 to the Districts 6-6, 42, and we're here with the reset. It's been a good ruck contest all day. You can see Dennis there against Buxton as the ball goes up. Just Dennis with a fingertip to it first. No clear pickup. Tries to do the rover himself. Picked off the deck there by Politis. He's wrapped up quickly. Trying to get that one moved forward. It's Adrian Scott with a little bit of a fumble and a turnover, but it's Buxton doing a little clean-up work. Hand passes it over to Philo. Bit of a spilt mark over the top of the hands of Henderson. Or Clark, I apologise. And it'll find the boundary. Rushed footy, fast footy, and it's inaccuracies across the board really when it comes to those. So it's a fast-paced game.
Yeah, but plenty of pressure on it. So pressure's on to use the ball cleanly, and Buxton takes it out of the ruck contest this time, but then has it forced out of his hands as ball just slews forward. Wines back there, almost had his jumper pulled. Play on's the call as Districts just trying to scramble it forward. Paris lets it go through his legs, and now Districts going the other way. Bowden on the left, kicks long inside forward 50. It's very wide though, and I think there was a bit of a It's either a nudge out or the ball's just found its way over the boundary line. It has. It's just got over the top of those leading players and bounced inside the field of play, and then over and the throw-in once again as the big fellas sort themselves out. Right, Ryan and Liam Buxton jostling for front position. It's slapped forward, but picked up by Staunton on the left boot. It's only gone a couple of metres into the hands of Barry, though. Barry tries to get around his opponent, but Nyhouse was on the job, tackled him, swung him over the boundary line, and it'll be a boundary throw-in again.
So again, you can see the eyes light up like Christmas from Barry when he had that space. He thought, yep, let's go, and then he just got called out of it. So ball goes up again. Ryan on Buxton. No click control from the ruck in. It might be a replay there, a holding. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, the ball's being retrieved there by Jed Anderson and turned over there to Wyatt Ryan.
Yeah, I think Ryan's trying to get people to move out of his way, but it's his own teammates that are just hanging around and attracting their opponents to go with them. So, so Wyatt Ryan is settled on taking the set shot. As you just see, he comes in past the 50-metre line now and kicks long towards goal. It's a pretty good-looking kick, I think. It is a great kick. So no problems from the big fella out there. He knew it all along. Just wanted a path cleared for him, and he got that. Went back and banged it through. So he's pretty happy about it too. Big smile
there was
on the
some finger guns, and he was up and about. Now that's good. Great from Ryan there, and just like that, Southern Districts bite back. They come back after kind of a little bit of a lacklustre second quarter from them, and so they come out with guns a-blazing in the third here. Nightcliff 9-4, 58, Districts 7-6, 48, bringing this back down to a 10-point ball game.
That's right, and really as far as the contest goes, it's exactly what the game needed, was for Southern Districts to come out strongly in this third quarter, and they've done exactly that. And now Nightcliff under a bit of pressure to get their hands on the ball themselves. So it's umpire Andy Campfield coming in with the number 0 on his back, looking to bounce. Not his best bounce, unfortunately, as we're just giving him a rap. But
he said his full name, Stu.
He's doing a great job, of course, as always. And Anderson swings a hand pass forward, but well read down there by Zeus, who gives and gets and kicks out wide, out to the advantage of Clark out there. But he now chips the ball inside forward 50, but well read in defence, and Cotter takes that mark. He's short, but it's too short for Dennis. Gets to him on the bounce. He uses it nicely through the hands, and now Rusker in a bit of space, but the hand pass didn't reach him, and he's under pressure as the Nightcliff defenders close on him. Out the back, Politis tried to get the hand pass across. That was smothered by George. George gains possession and then has the ball stripped, and now a quick kick forward, but well read in defence, and Mackenzie Slee takes that intercept mark for Southern Districts, wasting no time. Kicks to the outer side of the ground where Burgess has taken the mark, swings around and kicks long inside forward 50, over the back, the punch from behind from the Nightcliff defence. Brown gets the hand pass to Zust. He goes clever evasive work and then vision to chip out wide, and now Nightcliff looking to build from the back. It's into the hands of Peris at centre half back, but he's happy to go wide and backwards to Eilert. He's just directing traffic a bit from behind, as he often does when the pressure comes on the scoreboard against them. And Ryan Nyhouse back in defence this week, as after a few weeks playing forward for them, is a bit of an experiment, but he looks a bit hobbly there, doesn't he? But Nightcliff just working the ball around in the back half. Eilert again. Now he sees something further afield and goes long. That's a good pass, and finds Luke Wines up closer to the wing. He's called to play on now and kicks long towards half forward. Just Moody got bundled out of the contest and District's looking to build from defence as Anderson hits Ross but spills the mark and lets Nightcliff in as the hand pass comes up to Wines. He gets past a couple of opponents. Hand pass over the top to Zeus. Zeus swings around on the right boot, goes long inside forward 50, just falls out in front of Moody, who couldn't trap it under pressure from Burgess, and strong work out of defence, and Districts plough away again, and but again it's just turnover. It's turnover city at the moment down there as Wines kicks out wide to Clark. Clark chips in short. He finds Politis. Politis takes the mark. He's off and running inside 50. Kicks long towards goal. It's going right to the goal line.
How is that?
Ricocheted off Philo down there. Went the wrong way. Went back into the field of play, and Districts were happy to bundle it over to rush the behind.
How good's that pressure there from Jordan Cotter? Just because I thought we were about to watch a replay of Philo's last goal personally, but that pressure and that run from Cotter to try and get it into some space was impressive, and it's impressive there from Fijo to try and do the same again into some space, who makes himself available for the hand pass. He's got space here to run that one forward. Hand pass over the top, bounces favourably for Bowden. Bowden comes off the boot, maybe not what he'll like, and it's Brown who's going to get the opportunity to pick that one up, which he does. And it will be paid there, and Brown will have the opportunity here for a steady and reset, which he does. Beautifully marked there down the wing, and finds Eilert. Eilert just with a bit of a slowdown and a reset here. As you can see, Adrian Scott making his way to the bench behind him. Does well there to find Zeus. Again, Nightcliff using this opportunity to slow the game down. So whether or not it's what their favour is, or Southern Districts are working overtime and limiting available options. Floats the ball high, a few high flyers, no clear possession off the take. Stanley Cox with the hand to it, but he's wrapped up quickly. Hand pass over the top there, finding Fijo. Fijo with a chip kick there, looking to find Bowden again. Bowden does well to pick that one up and put it into some space. Takes a bounce there, doesn't work the way he would have liked Burgess, but manages to recover. Ross in a bit of space, but he's wrapped up quickly by Vile. Cameron Eilert working overtime to get that ball. Umpire says, I'll have that, and it'll be a ball up.
Yeah, pretty frantic football, lots of pressure as we said, and now Dennis takes it out of that ruck contest and gets a hand pass to Cockatoo, throws it on the boot. Not much direction as Henderson gets pushed over the boundary line, and the ball goes over as well. It'll be a boundary throw in.
For a moment there, the back and forth between the two 50s, like watching tennis at one point, Stu. The impressive midfield action and defensive work from both sides here, and they're not willing to give an inch. You can see the margin here, 11 points. They've managed to recover well, Southern Districts, in the opening 12 minutes of this quarter, and keep Nightcliff where they landed at half time. Ball goes up. Good contest there from Cox, but no clear control of the footy out of the contest. Cockatoo doing what he can. Again, doing what they can to get hands on this ball there. Dubs pushed away from it. Philo in the action, as is Eilert, but it'll be another ball up. Ball goes up. It's Dennis with a hand to it over the top, but it's turned over quickly there by what looked like Zeus. It'll be a flyer there. No clear possession of the footy there. It's attack just to try and get this ball off the deck, which is what DeLahey does. He puts it high. It's a flyer from Barry, but just bounces off his fingertips. Cox working well under pressure to get that one off the deck there. Nightcliff under pressure here to get this into space. It might be Districts through Ross here. Hand passes beautifully, finds Swartz. Swartz with the switch. Beautiful. What an effort to find a player in space.
Yeah, terrific by Bo Schwartz. Just had the vision, didn't panic, just had Jack Palmer out the other side, and the kick was perfect to him, and Palmer will go back and have the set shot at goal. But yeah, it was a tight, hard footy for about 5 minutes there. No one could break away with anything cleanly, and eventually Schwartz found a metre of space and took it and used the ball beautifully. So Jack Palmer, the Southern Districts junior, come all the way up through the ranks, and now has a shot at goal, but I think he's just dragged this one to the left.
So a goal there would have been handy for Districts and just minimise that margin just that little bit more, but does keep Nightcliff in front and in charge of this game at the moment. So we'll see what they can do to get control of this footy and build some momentum here, Nightcliff. Philo with the job to
Yeah.
get this one into some space.
Suggesting he's going to go long, and he runs out of the square and goes long, but that's well read by Palmer, who just had that shot on goal. Working back, trying to direct some traffic further afield. Now decides to go, ducks around the player on the mark, kicks long into the pocket down there. Schwartz behind, uses his body well, gets back onto it, but just couldn't get it through. But impressive work, but again, strong defence from Nightcliff just to close in on him and deny the opportunity for the shot at goal.
So Philo with the same tactic here, drilling this one here to the opposite commentary wing. Buxton doing what he can, using his height to get that ball into his space. He manages to get a little bit of a clinker out, puts his teammate in Kennedy under pressure there. You can see what looks like to be George trying to get that ball into some space, and he finds Cockatoo, and a beautiful mark there from Cockatoo to get control of that footy. Finds Waistcoat in space, but chopped off beautifully by Eilert. Eilert plays on quickly, puts it in space. There'll be a few bounces. It'll be a foot race to it. Emery under pressure, and you can see he's booted that one back into a play with space, and it looks like Cooper Darms with the opportunity here to get one on the board for Nightcliff.
Yes, it is, and he might have had a player over the top to hand pass too,
yes.
but obviously Darms was calling from behind, and he honoured the call, and it wasn't a bad option, but it'll be a set shot from a bit further out.
So we know Darms had a field day against Pint last week, kicking a few majors, so we'll see what he can muster up here for the Tigers against the Crocs. Ball comes off. Oh,
Never
it
in
did
doubt,
look good.
Tara.
Never in doubt, Stu. Fantastic. Well done there from Cooper Darms, and just puts Nightcliff, nudges them that little bit further in front, expands their lead, 10-5-65 to District 7-8. 15 points in this ball game.
So the option from Emery was obviously
Yep.
the right one to get it back to Darms, one of the most reliable kicks in the Nightcliff team, and he just put it straight through again, building on the work that he did last week. As you said, 3 goals and probably just about a best on-ground performance.
Yeah, without a doubt. They kept Pint goalless until the third quarter. So great effort there, and good to see Cooper Darms just continuing his reign of goals. So we'll see what they can muster up here. I'm sure he's got a few more up his sleeve. So we head back to the centre bounce. You can see Dennis taking on Buxton again. Buxton doing a good job all day, just being swapped out kind of infrequently with Cox as the ball goes up. Looks Dennis who managed to get a hand to it, no effort whatsoever. Be holding there and turned over quickly in Nightcliff's favour. It's Rinaldi who works well to find some space, and he does. Pushing that ball forward again, creating an option there, and it's beautifully defence. It'll be Darms here to try and get a bit of coverage, but no, umpires called that one the opposite direction and in the favour of Sam Smith.
Zach Smith.
Zach Smith. Thanks, Stu.
Yep. Sam's not actually playing,
No,
Tara, so
sorry about that. A bit like Jacob.
So at ground level, Dennis doing the work there, and gets a hand pass over to Stanley. Oh, that kick from Cockatoo just ricochets off the Nightcliff player directly in front of him, and Nightcliff take that advantage to the outer side of the ground where the mark's taken out wide, and they look to build up inside forward 50. Ball punched away, and good defensive work by Burgess again just to punch that one over the boundary line and force a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Nightcliff.
So it'll be a ball up here. We'll see what they can put together here, Nightcliff, and whether they can leverage this opportunity and turn it into a major. Ball goes up. Dennis with ease puts that one into some space here. Districts have the opportunity to get this one into some opportunity for them. Ball goes high. Good defensive work there from Nightcliff. Does well. Nighthouse under pressure there, gets it into some space.
Yeah.
Beautiful hand pass over the top from Dylan Clark, and it's found well and into the hands of Zeus, who plays on reasonably fast with that one. Petros Politis just spills the mark, and he'll have to do a bit of clean-up work here to stop Districts from getting away with it. Beautiful tackle there from Rusker. but it will go to the umpire.
And you just see, if you're not clean with the hands, then the opportunity closes on you, doesn't it? So
certainly does.
Yes, with two quality teams and good defensive teams, is out of the pack. The kick comes forward, Eilert jockeying for position, but cutting across in front was Burgess again for Districts. Couldn't hold on to the mark, but forces another boundary throw in almost exactly the same place as it was moments ago. So, yeah, you just feel that that Nightcliff's starting to get a hold back on the game after Districts came out with the opening couple of goals of the quarter.
Yeah, they're just right place, right time at the moment. Ball goes up, Ryan working overtime and managed to get the one into some space. You can see Bo Schwartz working hard as always. Oh, Darm's lifted. But game will be played on here. Politis doing what he can to keep this ball in their forward 50, and boundary, it'll be another ball throw in.
So Darm's landed on his back, but he's up and about.
Yes.
No problem. As again, the boundary umpire with the work to do. As you see the scoreboard in the middle of the screen there, showing that Nightcliff's still holding that advantage as we go deep into the third quarter, into time on. But a scramble of players at ground level and the ball's not coming out. And umpire Jacob Port will just jog across and ball it up again.
Lots of numbers around the footy. This ball goes up there. You can see Emery doing what he can to try and get control of that footy there, but yet again just trickles over the boundary line. So we'll have another reset here. Don't typically see this significant numbers around the footy in Premier League.
No, that's right. And just there again, there was a hand pass on, a chance to break, just missed the target, and that means the opportunity's lost, and that's why you get the congregation of players around the ball. But beautiful hit out, and now District's working it out, but strong tackle by Clark. Just slings his opponent to the ground, but I think let him down pretty gently and looked after him as Nightcliff found a bit of space now going forward. Mark might have been paid then, but picked up by Delahaye at the back, gets it over to George. He's got Fijo out wide. He's looking that way. If it gets to him, it does, but he can't take the mark. But the umpire rules that there was some front-on contact in the marking contest, and Fijo will take that free kick as Darms is penalised.
Lucky break for Districts there as Fijo plays on there, finding Bo Schwartz in some space. He's got a few players on the wing he can choose from, but he opts to pop that one down towards the commentary wing. Does well to find Wyatt Ryan. Again, Taj Stanley behind him, creating options, but he pushes that one forward there. Nyhouse with a high fly over the top. Turned over quickly there by Dean Staunton. Got hands to it, does well in the Nightcliff defence, finds Cooper Darms. Opts for a centering kick. He's got a sea of yellow and black there, and he's found Zeus. You can see a flood of players just running past him here to create options. Zeus stops with a little bit of a run and play on there. A chip kick, just beautifully done there, and handled well by Jonathan Paris as it gets that one forward. But, quick play on there from Southern Districts in defence as the ball bounces forward. It'll be Buxton who attempts to pick it up, but just goes out of his measure. And it was an attempt at a soccer there from Nyhouse, but the umpires made a call to turn that one over, and it'll be Nyhouse, the Tigers captain, with the option to get this one forward for the side.
He's happy to chip sideways to Henderson, who's pushed up from the back pocket. You can see there's no one behind these players here as District's working hard defensively to get numbers behind the ball.
You want to be accurate with this footy.
Nightcliff not in a hurry to move it as Henderson kicks long along the line as falls to Moody, comes back into the hands of Moody. He tries to loop a hand pass over the top. It's not really effective as Waistcoat comes in and closes down, but Moody coming out of the pack just got tackled as he tried to kick, and now it's Districts out of defence again. It's out wide, close to the boundary line on the bounce, and Matty Dennis got a hand to it but couldn't control it, and it's over for another throw in. 23 and a half minutes gone. Only the 3 goals scored in this quarter, 2 to Districts and then an answering one to Nightcliff. But the time clock telling us that there won't be too long left in the quarter as Ryan reaches out, gets a hand to it. Buxton picks it up for Nightcliff though. Hand pass comes back and Philo tries to run around an opponent. Hand passes inboard to Moody. Moody goes long down towards half forward. Oh, some collision in the marking contest. Emery toe pokes it back in, trying to get it to the advantage of his teammate, but it's ricocheted into the behind post, and it'll be a boundary throw in right next to that behind post, and so a danger area for Districts here, and I'm sure they'll be pushing lots of numbers back to try and just strangle this ball and hold it in.
So you can see there's a few extra players loose here for the Districts defensive side. Ball goes up, Buxton just picks it out of the air and tries to put it on the boot. He's got a player in space in Darms. He chips it over, just doesn't go through the sticks the way he would have liked. So just the behind.
Yeah, off balance then, just threw it on the boot across the body, but it was never going to worry the goals, but scores a minor score and allows Districts the chance to settle from behind as
a bit of a fumble.
trying a couple of bounces. Burgess lost control of the ball. Then
again.
His hand pass is smothered, and this has just opened the door for Nightcliff. But good follow-up pressure. It affected the kick, and just a behind again to Nightcliff.
So a few inaccuracies saved by the behind there. Lucky it wasn't any worse. So you can see Taj Stanley signalling there for a bit of a slowdown. So they lost a little bit of control out of their defensive zone just then. So they'll need a good reset here, Districts.
Jordan Cotter just suggesting he's going along now. Runs off out of the goal square with a couple of bounces to the near side of the ground and kicks long down towards the wing. And the ball spills in the contest. Ryan first hands to the ball, hand passes over the top, paddled forward by Palmer, but Nightcliff are in there again as Wines gets tackled. Cameron Eilert couldn't handle the ball cleanly that time, tried to run before he had possession, and now there's a whistle on the play. It's going to be a Nightcliff free kick at the bottom of the pack, and it's Luke Wines picking himself up, and again not in a real hurry to see what's on offer down forward as the siren goes to end the third quarter, and I think that's exactly what Wines was looking for then, as Districts rallied with the first couple of goals. Nightcliff settled with one, and it's still Districts with the work to do in the last quarter.
Yeah, very much so. Just the 17 points in it as we head into the fourth and final quarter of this match here at Darwin Mazda, Nightcliff Oval. Nightcliff 10-7, 67. Southern Districts 7-8, 50. We'll be right back.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge, or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Welcome back, viewers. You are watching AFLNT's coverage of the 2023-24 TIO NTFL season for a very special round here. You can see our umpires as well as our players are all donning yellow armbands in support of the Towards Zero campaign and to raise awareness about road safety. Captains from each Premier League women and men's team today will all don the number 0 in recognition of the goal of Towards Zero lives lost on Territory roads. And it's a fantastic initiative, and it's great to see the players getting behind it.
And you'll notice the umpire there in screen, Andy Campfield, as well, wearing the 0. So one umpire in each of the games in the Premier League also wearing the 0. And yeah, great initiative and an important message to be sent as Buxton wins the first hit out down, but it's Palmer who switches to the Fijo on the near side of the ground, and Fijo takes the mark, drills a pass in towards half forward, but Scott cutting across in front, got his hands to the ball, chopped it off, and now drives it back to the wing where it came from. On the bounce, Clark runs onto it, could have taken a high tackle there. Play on's a call as he gets it over to Moody. Moody kicks long down towards full forward. He is tackled as he kicked the ball. The umpire has determined that there was unnecessary late attention, and the downfield free kick goes to Emery, who's got a player running forward, and once again it's Cooper Darms. This is perhaps a bit more difficult assignment than his previous one. He looks to be reasonably deep in the pocket down there, but he'll have the chance with the set shot.
So you can see just with the trees behind him, a slight breeze that might affect the kick here, but it'd be a welcome kick from his teammates, I imagine. 10-7-67 to District 7-8-50. This would just extend their lead that little bit further and put a second one on the board for Darms as he kicks that one through, and it might have just drifted off for a behind. So just a behind there for Darms, unlucky in the opening 2 minutes of the quarter, but we can see here Cotter with the opportunity to play this ball on and hopefully get some momentum building for this district side.
Cotter didn't have much that he liked. Eventually he runs away and kicks long round the outer side of the ground, and that's a good strong mark taken in front by Cockatoo. He chips back inboard and finds Slee at half back for Southern Districts. They're looking to switch back across to the near side of the ground, and he does so to Burgess. Burgess has got a running Dylan Barry, but ignores that one and looking to go longer instead. Fijo gets his way to the front. The ball slips through his hands and over the back. First there for Southern Districts at ground level was Kane Davidson, but couldn't control the ball, and in fact it looks like he's hurt his shoulder there, and he was close to the interchange and just walked straight off. So hopefully, it's his neck I think that he's holding, so hopefully he recovers and can return to the game. But Big Ryan works his way to the front, pats it down in front. Philo got almost tunnelled there as he hand passed over the top. Clever work from George, kept the ball in play, but eventually it couldn't be kept in as Anderson got bundled over and the ball's over the line for a throw-in.
So just a throw in, same space, same location as it was just a few moments ago as the ball goes up here. White Ryan against Buxton there, bounces into some space favourably for Moody, hand passes over the top to find his teammate. It'll be Nyhouse there with the job to get that one forward. It'll chip kick back, finds what looks to be Moody again. So opportunity for a reset here, and they do. Does well there to find Philo, opts for the switch to the opposite wing, but it's intercepted there beautifully by Brander. Brander pushes that one forward, looking to find an option there, but just unfortunately kicks that one directly over the boundary line. So it'll be a reset there, but it will be turned over, and it looks like Ben Vile there with the job. You can see he's got a few key players there in space. Does well there to find Moody. Moody, short, sharp kick there. Luckily he found Zeus with space and time there to get it moving forward. Ball goes high. Oh, just a spilt mark there by Buxton. He does have a little bit of time there to try and get it into some space there, putting his players under pressure, but does well there to find Ryan and pick that one up there in space. Over the top, you can see Anderson hand passing that one forward, but turned over yet again by this dominant Nightcliff side. moving forward. Fijo doing what he can to try and get this ball into some space there. He's got two players on the wing in Swartz and Staunton. Swartz there, beautiful hand pass to Staunton. Chip kick maybe hasn't come off the boot the way he would have liked, but Swartz recovers well and takes a beautiful mark.
Barely went the required distance, but it's been paid, and after a bit of a scrambly passage of play, the ball ends up with Bo Schwartz, who's continued to work hard all day, and he'll go back for the set shot. We talked about the firepower of Southern Districts coming into the game, Tara, but their main goal kickers in Brander and Ross have both had really quiet days, no goals between them, and that's been part of the problem for them. Obviously something that Nightcliff identified coming into the game to focus on. As Schwartz kicks long, it's going to fall just in the goal square and eventually gets thumped away and into the behind post, so it'll be a boundary throw in. So District's still with the chance with the stoppage deep in the forward half.
So you can see the players resetting here. Ball goes up. Dennis on Cox. Dennis just pulls it down and goes snap and just goes through for a behind, unfortunately. That would have been a welcome goal for the district side, but just another behind there for them. 7-9-51 behind Nightcliff's 10-8-68 as we go for the reset here. Man who's had the job all day, Philo. Pushes this one here, running in space. He's got plenty of it. Nearly makes it to the 50 arc and puts that one on the boot. Long drive into their forward, but it's beautifully taken by Wyatt Ryan there. Short chip kick there. Does well to find Bowden. Bowden wanted to play on quickly there, but changed his mind. You can see he's opted for a reset. He does have Cotter in space. Opts to just drill that one into the forward line, but beautifully read by Vile. And Nightcliff will have the opportunity here to try and drill this one back into their forward.
Just gone backwards about 30 metres to Henderson and then runs off and receives again. So Vile is now right back on the defensive goal line and trying to get people to move for him from out there. Decides to come near side of the ground where Nyhouse is setting himself here. He's got to come from behind over the top of Cockatoo. Forces it forward. The hand passes loop forward, but again at ground level it's Districts, and Bo Schwartz chips the ball in. A good defensive effort to get a fist to that, and it's forced over the line for another behind. So not quite the crisp use of the ball going forward that we've seen on a couple of occasions, and that are now allowed the Nightcliff defence just to close and snuff it off as it's Philo once again. And he goes long as he often does and gets it right out of the danger zone, right out to the outer wing. But Staunton at ground level just had it knocked out of his hands, but recovers now, gets a hand pass out the back to Ross. Ross with a short pass around the boundary line, and Bowden takes the mark there. He's looking to move the ball on quickly, but this short kick falls short of Schwartz, but he's able to get it back to Ross, who's swung in the tackle and gets the kick forward, and the mark's taken. Barry it was that took the mark, wasted no time, got around the players who were a little bit asleep around him and banged it on the boot. And he's kicked his fourth goal for the game. He's kicked one in each quarter, and 3 times he's kicked the first goal of the quarter.
Yes, and so brings that margin down to just 10 points, heading just over the 8-minute mark here of the fourth and final quarter between this highly anticipated matchup between these two just highly credible teams this season. So
yeah, both premiership contenders, Tara, and jockeying for positions going into the finals, as we said. So a really important game for both sides.
Very much so, and this is the last outing during the home and away season for Districts. So the Crocs, they'll be wanting to make an impression here and hopefully set themselves up in good stride for finals. And Nightcliff just taking on Waratah next week as well. So it's a blockbuster end to the season here. As the ball goes up again, it'll be Wyatt Ryan with hands to the footy over Cox. You can see Anderson working overtime to try to get that into space, and Nightcliff just shutting him down and turning it over. They do. Zeus has a little bit of a fumble there with the ball, manages to soccer it forward. Another soccer beautifully off the deck by Politis, but it'll be the defensive zone for the Crocs that'll have to try and clean this one up, which they do, but Nightcliff too good with a snap that goes high over the top. Has it gone through? Yes, it has, and it's Moody.
Yeah, Jay Moody again. He's become a bit of a goal sneak after playing in defence in the early part of the season, but he's kicked his 4th goal, I think, as well. So, yeah, a quick response from Nightcliff, and they've just managed to do that all day, really, haven't they? Districts have closed the gap, and then Nightcliff just get the steadier. And 9.5 minutes in, you just get the sense that Nightcliff have got control of the game.
Yeah, they just can't seem to edge past that 10-point margin and kind of break through. So it'll be interesting to see what Districts can muster up. What can they shake up? What can they do here? Is it what's not working for them just to get through that kind of margin that they haven't been able to get through? Ball goes up here. Match up, you can see Cox coming in again. But it's touched there by Wyatt. Ryan, as you can see, a bit of a fumble there from Anderson, and Nightcliff taking no problems there to try and get this ball turned over, but it's Southern Districts again, just with control of the footy. A short chip kick there, beautifully taken, and he will be paid from Nakia Cockatoo. Cockatoo wastes absolutely no time and drives that one into the forward line. Spilt mark there by Brander, and it's Nyhouse who takes advantage of it and chips that one over the top to Brown, who finds, by the look
Henderson.
of it, Henderson. So again, beautiful defensive work there from Nightcliff. As the ball's played on there, he's found Vile, and they can just slow down for a bit of a reset here, Nightcliff. Ball goes attempted at a beautiful mark there, but just trickled over the boundary line.
Yeah, really impressed with Wyatt Ryan today. He's worked really hard, gets all around the ground. He's had his fair share of hit-outs, and you know, it would be really tiring for the big men today in steamy conditions and against big bodies, but they've kept battling as Stanley Cox comes in to chop out. The ball slips over the back. Davidson hooks it forward for Districts. There's interference in the marking contest. It's going to be a Southern Districts free kick. It's Dylan Barry again, and he again wastes no time, swings around onto that left boot, kicks long towards goal, and it's going just missed to the right. There's a let off there, and Henderson brings the ball back in quickly to the near side of the ground and finds Kennedy out in front of Fiji. Kennedy plays on, he almost ran over the boundary line then, but allowed to play on. Good spoil from behind by Slee, sees the ball over the boundary line for another throw-in.
So the umpire's working overtime today. This ball has found the boundary multiple times in every quarter. So we'll have a reset here, and as you said, Stu, the ruck's been working overtime with all of these throw-ins. Ball goes up, you see Swartz doing what he can to try and get control of that footy from the tap out. Picked up there nicely by Rusker. Puts a snap, but it's turned over beautifully there by Nightcliff. In who looks to be Kennedy, plays on, pushes it forward. It's Buxton doing his best to try and get over his opponent, which he can't. You can see a swing in the air and a misfire there from Rusker, and it's Eilert who's been wrapped up almost immediately as he put hands on that footy, so it'll be a ball up.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge attempt to get the ball out, but given the benefit of the doubt and a ball up, Ryan again reaches up and paddles it to the advantage of George, but he can't keep the ball in play, and a boundary throw in again as Dylan Barry walks off in front of the camera. A bit disappointed in his last effort, I think, but the ball over the top, Waistcoat runs onto it, breaks the tackle, and has his jumper drag, gets the hand pass out wide to Stanley, who gets tackled as well. Cockatoo hand passes over the top, Waistcoat, he gets brought to the ground in the tackle as the ball spills out, and now a quick kick out goes out wide, bouncing ball, running onto it down there was Schwartz, who got tackled immediately by Vile, and it'll be a ball up once again.
So plenty of contest in today's match, and a really suitable pairing here with both sides trying to do what they can to get hands on this footy and get it into some space there. Waistcoat wastes no time picking that one up, and I thought he might go for a snap, but he's kicked it into a bit of space. It'll be a foot race, but Ben Vile will get there first. He's on the attack and pushes that one forward. Ball goes high, bounces into some space and just out of the hands there of Peter Politis, but beautifully picked up by Zach Smith and pushed into space. Ronnie Fijo with a sharp drilling kick into their forward line that's turned over beautifully by Nathan Brown.
Brown, solid defender, kicks wide to the other side of the ground, and Nightcliff looking to build around that outer side. The long kick goes in. Buxton got his hands to the ball, couldn't take the mark. Ball spills out now as Darms tries to break past the tackle, gets a hand pass out, and now Buxton on the left kicks long down towards the forward pocket. Roy George used his body well, but then couldn't control the mark, and coming in to assist, the ball gets bundled over the line for a rush behind for Southern Districts. But with almost 15 minutes gone in this final quarter, it's goals that they really need to get on the board as George brings the ball in. Terrific work there by Scott, who's had a pretty impressive game again as he paddles the ball out, but Fijo this time steals it off him as Twycross takes the advantage, kicks inboard, and Philo takes the mark, drills a pass into the forward pocket as Politis working hard at ground level, couldn't control the ball. George gets around the player in front of him, hand passes to the advantage of Cockatoo. Nakia Cockatoo with a kick off the outside of the boot, just didn't quite find his teammate, and coming in, Ryan Clark was happy to pick it up and carry it over the line and give everyone a breather and force a boundary throw in again.
You can see a couple of key contributors there for Nightcliff, for Districts, apologies, off the field onto the bench in Anderson and Fijo. So it'll be an interesting couple of minutes here as the ball comes up. Staunton, what an absolute Trojan horse, working overtime to get that one into some space there. But again, just a brilliant contest that's just pushed that one over the boundary line. So we'll have yet another throw in.
So just one goal apiece in this final quarter as the clock ticks past 16 minutes and Districts really needing to get on their bike here.
Yes, 16 minutes, 16 points in it.
Boundary throw in is at ground level. Philo got a hand to it but couldn't control it, and again it stacks on and it'll be a ball up. And as we've become accustomed to, Bo Schwartz, one of the last from the bottom of the pack, as Dennis hooks the hand part, they hit out forward to the advantage of Staunton, but there's a free kick off the ball and it's going to go to Nakia Cockatoo, just forward of the wing on the outer side. As he tries a drill pass forward, but Nightcliff defence has worked back and that one's pretty easily dropped off by Nyhouse. He got a bit of attention afterwards as well from Wyatt Ryan, and it'll be a 50-metre penalty. And Nightcliff will be happy just to soak some seconds off the clock and march the ball downfield a bit. Ryan needs to be careful here that he doesn't get too close.
Interesting too, not many 50s called in this game considering how high a contest it's been. Ball goes in, drilled beautifully in and marked beautifully by Scott, as you mentioned earlier. Has had an absolute field day, quiet probably in the first quarter, but absolutely made his presence known in the last two quarters. So ball goes up, it's a high flyer there, hasn't managed to just retain the mark out under pressure. So just go over the boundary here, and it's in Nightcliff's forward zone here, so we'll see what they can muster up.
So boundary throw in. This ball will lob just about at the top of the goal square here. So Districts under pressure in defence as Buxton wins the hit out down, but no one able to take clean possession as a quick kick comes out, spills to the front where Philo just gets knocked out of the way a bit as it comes back to Dennis. Dennis hooks the long kick out of defence back towards centre half back. Brown at ground level just trying to force the ball forward as Ross comes in for Southern Districts, but he can't get possession of the ball, and eventually another stoppage, another ball up, and it'll be a ball up inside forward 50 as ball goes up. Dennis wins the hit out to Schwartz. Schwartz just checked the kick to Staunton, which was clever, and Staunton throws it on the left boot. But again, Nightcliff set up behind the ball. But good work to smother the hand pass there and give Districts the opportunity. But the hand pass is turned over, and Scott got rid of the ball quickly. Got brought to ground. Ross at ground level almost dragged that ball back in, I think, and that's the way the umpire's seen it. And he'll be penalised, and Vile will receive the free kick. So a bit of a dirty day for Jonathan Ross today, unfortunately, and just another one's gone against him there. As Vile kicks long down the line, but punched away from behind, close to the boundary line. District's working hard to keep it in. Dean Staunton there, but he got met by Henderson in the end, and just forced the ball over the line again.
So we'll have a reset here. You can see we're just about to enter the 20-minute mark and into extra time here in the final quarter. 16 points in it. Just a 1 goal apiece this final quarter. Ball goes up. Dennis does well to get that one into some space. Cooper Darms wrapped up early. No clear control of the footy yet. You can see Cockatoo doing what he can to get it into space, and he does well, but it's a sea of yellow and black there as it's Ruska who's doing what he can to get that into space, but just wrapped up awfully quickly there. Looks like Palmer. So we'll have another ball up as we just enter into extra time here in the fourth quarter.
So from that ball up, Buxton just thumps it back over his own head, but Palmer is first there for Districts, but he gets wrapped in the tackle again, and another stoppage. And it's been the pattern of play, particularly in this last quarter, and Nightcliff obviously happy with that. It's the style of game that suits them. They can just hold on to the lead that they've got, but that one's thrown out. District's trying to make something happen going forward. Anderson almost got tackled to the ground without the ball. Play on's the call as Zeus comes in again, but gets a hand pass out. Breaks to Ruska, but the whistle's gone here as Ruska breaks towards goal. But the ball's coming back, and it'll be a Nightcliff free kick at half back, going the way of Luke Wines, who's had a pretty good game today.
Yeah.
He's got himself on the scoreboard, and he's reliable in defence for Nightcliff. He's looking to just soak up time off the clock. Chips out wide to Vile, and Vile does the same out to Norton on the outer side of the ground.
So Norton, just a straight set shot, puts that one through, but it's read the best way there by Ryan, who plays on quickly there, finds his captain in Staunton. Staunton pushes that one forward, but just fisted over the line there by Norton again, who's been another impressive person for Nightcliff today in terms of his defensive work. So we'll have another throw in here. As the rucks reset. Cox against Ryan. Ryan just plucks it out of the air and finds Anderson. Anderson with a snap into the 50, goes high. No one with the clear mark under pressure. You can see it's Brander. Hand pass finds Cockatoo. Cockatoo, snap over the top.
I think it's good.
Has it gone through? Oh, umpire says yes. Beautiful work there from Cockatoo under pressure, and it gets him on the board for the first time today and just shortens that lead. It's a 7-point margin as we are in extra time. It's only the third scoring shot for the game. It's a 7, Stu?
I think it's 10, but it's
10.
It's between 1 and 2 goals anyway, Tara, and we're 22 and a half minutes in. Yeah, it's hard to imagine that Districts could quickly score 2 goals to snatch the game, but I guess the pleasing thing for Shannon Ruska is that they've battled it out, and their third position is perhaps under a little bit of pressure, but as we said, Nightcliff play Waratah next week. Waratah the side that could potentially snatch that third spot, so it's they'll have their work cut out. The game here again at Nightcliff's home ground next week, but Big Matty Dennis hooks the ball forward. Darms with a quick kick out of the centre. Anderson working back, hand passes backwards to George. George back to Anderson, hand passes over the top to Palmer. Palmer often running around the outer side of the ground now. Kicks long down towards half forward. Brander out on the long lead, gets rid of his opponent, then runs on, takes the mark, kicks towards goal, but yeah, it just hasn't been Jared Brander's day, and that one's gone out of bounds on the full, and you would think that's the last hope gone for Southern Districts as far as the result in this game goes.
Yeah, you can't imagine there's too much time left in this fourth quarter, and it's a big job. You've got 2 goals to get to even this up as Paris pushes that one forward on the opposite wing. For your high flyers, no clear mark out of the contest. can see it's Palmer on the deck working hard to get into space. Cockatoo again opts for a centering kick, looking for assistance there from a teammate, but it's Waste Coast who's just pressured off it. Turned over well there, and it's done well to find Cotter. Cotter for the Crocs, pushes that one forward. It's a good kick. He needs a player in space. No one there. It's Ross with a snap, but it's turned over. Just puts a snap on the boot, and it will just...
It's bounced over the boundary line, I think. Henderson was happy to see it go over. And, yeah, we'll just wait for the boundary throw. And so it's Southern Districts with it deep in their forward line still, and Nightcliff defence under some pressure here as the hit out comes to ground level. A snapshot from Bowden towards goal has gone across the face. The ball's still in play out there as Cockatoo tries to work some magic. Gets a bit of a kick, but it's smothered off the boot and over the line once again. So we were calling for the end of the game a few minutes ago, Tara, and Districts really have had some chances.
Yeah, very much so. So you can see still significant numbers around the footy here in this contest, and it's been like it all day. Wyatt with all its Cox with the fist over the top there. Islet doing what he can to try and clear it into some space, and it's just kind of squirted out the back there. So will be another ball up as Cox raises his hand for the Tigers, but it's Ryan who gets a hand to it first and straight into the arms of their captain in Staunton, and he's wrapped up. So it'll be another ball up.
Yeah, the entire Nightcliff team in defence here just trying to cling on to the lead that they have as they work it out. And now a long kick forward, it gets over the top. There's not many players down here as, strong tackle on Smith by Emery, and it's picked up. Nightcliff streaming forward now with the loose ball, and Moody tries to get on the end of that one, but scrambling defence from Districts now as the hand pass comes out to Palmer. Palmer chips looking for Waistcoat, and the siren goes to end the game, and you can see that players are exhausted.
Absolutely.
Every one of them out there. It's been a gruelling contest, but Nightcliff just 10-point winners, but to me just seem to have control of the game for most of the day, Tara.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. They were kind of the standouts. They started the game strong and were kind of first to get a minor on the board there. They had a resurgence, the Districts, and you thought, they might get over here, but Nightcliff just kind of flexed their muscle in the final couple of quarters to regain the win on this one. So congrats to Nightcliff. 11-9, 75 to Districts 9-11, 65. Any standouts for you, Stu?
Yeah, it was a tough game to call best players, wasn't it? But look, for Southern Districts, I was really impressed with Wyatt Ryan in the ruck. I thought that he was probably the best ruckman on the ground for the day. I think back in defence, Roy George had a pretty good game. Nakai Cockatoo worked his way into the game a bit. Cotter was solid in defence, and Anderson around the ball, and of course Bo Schwartz battled hard all day. And for Nightcliff, it was a pretty even spread. You know, Buxton in the ruck did a fair bit of work. I really like the game of Luke Wines. Darms had a bit of it. Philo always has a lot of it, but and Cody Zeus had a fair bit. But the Nightcliff defence was strong, held up as it always does. And of course, I didn't mention the goal kicks. Dylan Barry kicked 4, and I think Jay Moody kicked 4 as well for Nightcliff. So yeah, they were probably the standout players on the day.
Yeah, a really good high contest game there, and it is the last game for Southern Districts for the 2023-24 TIO NTFL home and away season. They set themselves up well. The next time we'll see this team will be in the final series, so interesting to see what round 18 will prevail. Nightcliff will take on Waratah back here at Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval. The interesting one there, and the game finishes after just a little tidbit here for the leading goal kicker Dennis Dunn medal. The Brander finishes on 61 goals for the season, and Magro, after the efforts against Darwin Buffs today, finishes with 61 as well. So Magro's obviously got one more game to play. So after a phenomenal season from Brander, he might just get pipped at the post if Magro has a day out next week. So
And Jackson Calder still to play tonight.
Exactly. So he's on 48 at the moment. Yep. So no, it's high kicking across the board for the season. So we'll see what musters up next week. But looking forward to the final series. It should be an absolute blockbuster. Again, Nightcliff 11-9, 75. Southern Districts 9-11, 65. Pleasure to host you this evening. Stay tuned. St Mary's will take on Palmerston on NT News.
Okay.